I got carrot from my first Kazuna ticket.
That's high. Holy shit!
I got fucking Frankie from one of my Kazuna tickets. I was so mad.
That's
the
an
disrespect.
L. That's such an L.
I need to do Kizuna right now. I'm on like box 3 still.
Frankie popped up. He's like, "Ow!"
Yeah, that's how I felt last night.
Whole finger fest was just like, "Ow!"
That's awful quiet.
Frankie's so shit.
That caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, fucking bro, like he's like, "This is what you get for pulling on bait banners." I was like, "If this is a bait banner, I don't know what's a good banner."
This is not a bait banner. This is a great banner. It was just terrible that the rare recruits not rated up at all.
I think the only actually good banner is if something good is guaranteed after a while. Well, I mean, I guess something was, but you know, you gotta go to fucking 30.
You're high for your own farts right now. Are you okay?
No, I was more thinking of like when they're guaranteed after 9, like Zephyr.
How does it feel, the fact that you did 30 multis and you split it up over 2, so you actually don't get one of the guaranteeds?
Well, the reason why I did that was because I didn't plan to do 30 multis, and it just happened. So naturally, it was going to be split. So I'm not upset. I got the whole batch and I got V2 Nami, so I'm not complaining.
It do be like that.
I'm not complaining. Fuck it. I don't really care. I have the facilities for that one, big man. It was just unfortunate that I didn't pull one of the legends over those 30 multis, but who cares? To each their own. I'm still chilling.
Yeah.
And me and Tyler out here getting dislikes because we're using the batch.
Hey, bro,
how dare you use the new characters? How dare you?
That's why you don't make content for this dumbass game.
Dude, I saw people getting like pissed on Twitter and shit.
Every
for doing the 30
got everything though. Every Imset, Mean Machine, Dill, Todd, everyone got all the shit, bro.
Well, I mean, Mean Machine just got lucky, right?
Nine did 4 multis, bro, and got kid like a goober. Like, what the fuck is happening? All you content creators on some dumb shit, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Mad at me because I pulled Kaido, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's not extended. It's Kaido.
The course at this point.
I'm pretty sure Mean Machine didn't go to 30, right?
I'm just laughing. I'm like, what else am I going to say if I've got a rainbow legend and a dupe of him? Like, what else do I say?
You sell it for berries.
Golly gee, thanks for another dragon.
Sell it for berries.
Yeah, that's how you big dick shit, bro. So if I pull fucking Shanks crew, I'm gonna sell them for berries just for fun. I don't even know.
I don't think you have.
That is now on recording.
Yeah, you have to do it.
You have to do it.
I'll fucking do it.
You know, 2-in-1 multi. 2-in-1 multi.
You know, the point I was making was Mean Machine didn't go to 30, I'm pretty sure. He just got really lucky.
He did 8 or some shit.
Did 8.
Yeah. So I understand getting like a little salty at the luck, but people were getting mad at Todd for going to 30 and supporting the 30 guaranteed thing.
Both of them did 30.
Yeah.
And people end up upset they got the legend, which is
like
hilarious.
if people are mad that they're supporting the 30 guaranteed thing, and I think it's a good feature because if you're going to go deep, I mean, at least you get guaranteed something.
Like, people don't understand. Like, people, like, we've had people on the podcast that have gone way more than 30. Even people here right now have gone more than 30 on a banner.
Everyone here has done more than 30.
Hey, you know, everyone who's complained has never done 30 multis at once.
They've never done 9, bro. They think they do. Now, let me start the episode first, and then this is going to be our first topic. I'm just adding this shit to the start of it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Good, Great, Perfect. I'm your host, Captain Puppy, with the most. What's popping with it? Got my boys, Cobb, Dill, Knight, Joba, and Toski. Say hi at the same time.
Hi.
Hey. Hi. Damn it, fucking Todd.
Well, shit. Okay. That was great. Fantastic.
It was good and great and potentially perfect. But we are back once again for episode 19.
Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to those guys indeed. I want to go real quick and say thank you all so much for the support on episode 18. Holy shit. Everyone killed it on that one. The views for that one are insane. Likes, comments, everything was there. That sub count got really, really boosted. As of right now, we are 121 subs away from 1,000. We are edging ever so close to that 1K sub count.
If you're watching right now and you're not subbed, then
what's wrong with you?
You're a glue eater.
42.3% of the people watching right now are unsubscribed. That subscribe button is red.
Wow,
just hit that button. It's not like we spam your timeline or whatever.
Less than what I thought, to be honest.
It's like one episode every couple of weeks. We're not spamming your YouTube feed.
And
You know, just
and
hit that
hey,
button.
once we hit 1K, we might start spamming your YouTube feed. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
I'm not going to go any further into the details, but all I'm saying is that you guys
Maybe
might
your
want to
Twitch
get.
feed as well.
Hey, hold on. But if we hit that 1K, all I'm saying is that we got big plans in the works, that's for sure. But I do want to thank everyone for that. Thank you for all the followers on Twitter and Instagram. We appreciate all that stuff there. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, we have migrated all of our social medias to one website, that is Linktree. So linktr.ee/good-great-perfect. It'll be one of the first links in the description down below. You can go there and you can find all of our social media platforms, as well as various platforms you can listen to the podcast itself. Without further ado, we're going to go back to what we talked about in the pre-show, which is going to be talking about this. This is off the cuff. This is even written down in the notes. But I want to talk about the taboo-ness of, is that even a word? Fuck it, it's gonna be a word now. The taboo-ness of pulling and how many pulls you do and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a good discussion point, actually. Now that the first season of PvP is wrapped up on JP, we're going to go through our thoughts and opinions on how that was and how it all functioned. And we're going to give a little bit more of an in-depth analysis of our own ideas on how to approach the resource island, as GameWith has written a very good guide, and so has Fate of Muffins. Shout out to that guy on Reddit. Fantastic guides there on talking about the resource island and such as well. With the release of Kid and Hawkins, we're going to do an Annie wrap-up. I mean, hopefully this is the end of Annie. Potentially. Who knows what Bandai is going to end up doing anyway. But we're going to give our thoughts and opinions on Kid and Hawkins as 2 more Annie legends, and then we'll probably go through and do a ranking of all the 6 legends and how they rank up against one another. And if we have some time, we'll talk about this Annie in comparison to all previous Annies on JP, and where they all sit. We have talked about this in the past, but now that we have a better idea of Anniversary in general, we're going to go through that last point as well. And finally, we're going to be talking about gem sales because, recently ZL and Sobermask have just dropped on global, and that burnt a hole in a lot of our wallets, that's for sure. And then obviously all of the Annie stuff on JP. We're going to go into a little bit of like what the sales are, like what they need to be, why Bandai chooses to do sales and not to do sales, and so on and so forth. And then finally, at the very end, we're going to go through some Twitter questions. Without further ado, though, back onto the topic at hand. So
Right.
I think a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of people that I was talking to, for some reason, a lot of them complained about the 30 gem multi, the 30 multi.
Shit.
Complain about the 30 gem multi. Hey, fuck you, bro.
I wish.
A lot of people have complained about the 30 multi cap, and I want to get your guys' opinions on. We'll go around the table. So, obviously, we know that 30 multi cap is going to most likely be what's going to happen in the game from now on, except by 6 Annie, we had the caveat of the 20 multi cap for all the legends, or for each legend.
Was like a one-off thing though for anniversaries. So for anniversaries now, they might lower it down to 20 or 25, depending on the type of legends that it is. But yeah.
So what do you guys think of what do you guys think of the 30 multi cap?
I like it. As somebody who if there's a legend that I really like, I tend to really go in for those types of characters, and I like that there's a mercy rule that if you pull that hard, you're gonna end up getting them eventually. And if you watch my video, for example, the second I pulled Sober Mask on my way to, because I was willing to do 30 right out the gate because I'd saved up gems for ages for this Sugo Fest, so I didn't really have to spend any money. And so I pulled Sober Mask on my fourth multi or something like that. As soon as I pulled him, I was so excited because I knew I was going to be getting both.
Yeah.
Because my biggest concern was having to do 30 multis on the Luffy Zoro banner,
and then 30 more.
And then not so much even 30 more, but
having to do more potentially on another banner.
Yeah, exactly.
I think why people get mad it's because obviously a lot of people don't have the capability to go that deep,
and that's so fine. I want to preface that. That's fine.
They feel like they're really missing out by not being able to do that, and that shouldn't be the idea. It should be
I disagree.
Yeah.
Because the people that do that deep, I don't think you're missing out. First of all, people that do 30 like hope to God that they go into it with knowing the means that of doing 30, just for brevity's sake, 1,500 gems, right? Like people that are gonna go do 30, I hope to God that they're going into doing 30 with the idea that they know, okay, I'm spending X amount of money and I'm prepared to spend this amount of money,
Well, the thing is, these are the Sugo Fest that when you watch your favorite content creator and you're asking them all the time, what Sugo Fest should I pull on or should I save? These are the types of Sugo Fest you should be saving for. When we say save up gems, that doesn't mean save up 400 gems because that's not that much, and you can get that quite quickly with events and treasure maps and all that kind of stuff if you farm enough and if you're smart with your gems.
Yep.
Saving gems is like upwards of 1,000 gems. That's what I count as real saving,
Yeah.
and being a free to play and committing to save for a certain Sugo Fest. Because if you're not doing that, then I'm like, well, you're still pulling and you're using your gems like, well, you're just not being smart with your gems.
Yeah.
I guess I think of it as that time when like Snake Man came out, and if they didn't do those 9 multis, they were pretty much kind of screwed for a few months content wise. But it's not like that. I think we have the advantage that we know all the Sugos that are coming thanks to JP. So people know if there's a legend they really like, they can save for them.
I see, and I feel like that's a very good point. We're fortunate enough to know what's coming, how the Sugo is potentially going to be structured. So there's really no excuse in terms of like, I guess like it's a gotcha game, They're always going to tease you into doing multis when you don't want to. That's inherent, right? But I feel like if you go for it, Todd,
well, the fact that like with this particular Sugo Fest, this is a big celebration where the 2 debuting legends are top fucking tier. When you have the other Sugo Fests that are coming along the way, which we know are coming because we play global, Nami, Robin, and Pudding, they are likely going to have this structure as well, considering this structure was brought so early to global. The thing is with that Sugo Fest, if you're doing 30 multis for Nami, Robin, or Pudding, you just eat glue. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. That is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. That is a waste of gems.
Man, Rose is gonna die that day.
Shout out Flamebeard. That man's prepared to do 30 for Pudding.
And just like with this thing, a lot of people are complaining, 30 multis for the new unit. Like that's bullshit. But you got to think that a lot of people that are doing those like 30 plus multis on the older banners, a lot of those people aren't in like quote unquote in the public eye. So a lot of people wouldn't even see those type of people that are doing that amount of gems. But then everyone who has the capability of doing that amount of multis and people are seeing that, they're like, oh, so I'm going to do 30 multis for the new legends. That sucks. I can understand where people are coming from, but also at the same time, like, it's Sober Mask and it's Luffy Zoro. This is a character that everyone's been saving for a long time. Like, if you have the opportunity to get that character,
and in Sober Mask's instance, it's a unit that is still heavily used on JP. Like, yeah, Luffy Zoro's faded out a bit, but Sober Mask is still easily one of the best legends on JP.
Both of like incredible.
30 multis is a lot of gems as well. But remember when they first introduced guaranteed reds into the game, 369, and that was it. And now look at how the structure is for Sugo Fest. There's so many more guaranteed steps. I mean, mind you, some Sugo Fests are better than others, but this is just a good step forward that bringing the guaranteed new unit. Like perhaps maybe a year from now, they'll be like, 20 multis, it'll always be guaranteed new batch legend. And then maybe on big celebrations, they'll do 15 for the unit instead. Like they might bring it down.
And it all just depends on how well the game's going as well. Yes. Because they do account for like, okay, well, last anniversary wasn't good because we did this wrong. Maybe if we cut down the amount of multis they have to do for a guaranteed legend, people might come back to the game and do these amount of multis, or maybe people would be willing to spend that much money instead of having to spend $1,500. They only have to spend like 800 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am glad that they didn't shaft their rates for being guaranteed. It was like 0.2.
Like the rates were actually really good. Like, what was it? 0.2.
0.23 or 0.23.
Yeah, that's that's good for a debut.
That's including 6-star and 5-star.
Yeah, but then you're like the rates on the opposite banners they weren't great. It's like 0.00.
And that's fine though. If you're making 2 separate banners, it is fine. Not have one of them rated up. It's more than okay. See,
but like from what I saw, a lot of people actually pulled, like myself and Toadski included, we pulled the one on
the other banner.
On the other banner before we reached the 30th. So that just goes to show that rates weren't horrible. Like, because since me and Toadski weren't the only ones who did that.
Plenty of people did 30.
I'm still fucking pissed I didn't get V3 Kuzan from 30 multis. Far out, man. I pulled like every other rate boosted red on that banner except for like
Rate boosted.
fucking Kuzan.
And see, that's what I'm saying, Todd. Like that's what I want. That's what I want to go on. Like the fact that if you think about like in instance, like we've all had like what do you call like white whales? I think is the term where it's a legend that you can't pull or something like that. For me, for example, for the longest period of time, it was V2 Katakuri, right? So like I'm not like whatever the numbers are, no one gives a shit. But end of the day, I did accumulatively from the time he was released until the time I pulled him more than 30, way more than 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that now I can, and obviously the argument there, you can break it down and be like, oh, but that's a cumulative, that's not on the same Sugo Fest. I did 30 on his Sugo Fest as well, but that's besides the point.
Yeah,
what it is that now there's a guarantee, there's a floor, there's a max, there's a cap. You know that if you go into a Sugo Fest
and
you are
cap.
spending more money than that max amount,
and you're willing to do 30, you will get the unit. You know what I mean? If you're willing to do 10 and you don't get the unit, you honest to God, you have no means to cry about it for ages. You can be upset.
I think another reason why people are complaining though is the rare recruit rate, and we all agree to that fact. Like when no one is like scheming in behind closed doors saying, oh, this Sugo Fest is really good, and like even the rare recruit rates are good. No, everyone agrees to the fact that the rare recruits were trash.
Yeah, inherent.
Yeah, man.
Pulling on the way to the 30 though, like people were complaining, oh, you get all these really good legends and you complain about them. They were rated up, and they were amazing legends, and I did not have to go very far. I did 3 multis, and I pulled I think every single rate up legend beside the new ones, and I'm like, this is a good Sugo Fest to pull on if you want these legends. If you don't have these legends, like if you didn't have Kaido, if you didn't have Cracker, if you didn't have
Kaido for real. I got Kaido in 5, and I was like, holy shit, like this is a really good Sugo Fest just for like part 1, like had some fantastic legends. Part 2, obviously the same thing. These were 2 really good parts and on a really good Sugo Fest that had a 2.5 times rate. Let's not cap on that. Like obviously you can meme and you can I got plenty of multis that were all golds, and I'm sure all of us did as well. But like 2.5, it's a better rate. It's inherently minimum mathematically should be 1 per multi on average, right? It's never going to be that, but some multis you get 4, some multis you get 1.
Yeah, my rate rate is actually great.
Like it's just, I think there's a taboo for some reason, and I think it is due to like what Todd said, because you're in the public eye. People like Todd, Dill, Knight, Mean, and Imset, Flamevius, all those kinds of people that are in the public eye and like doing a lot of multis.
And then
people are just upset because they can't do that, and that's fine. It's a game that's built around spending money. Every mobile game is built around spending money. You don't have to. The best part about Treasure Cruise is that you don't have to spend money. There are plenty of instances. Like, I don't know if this guy listens, but it's a guy called Akayunu86. He's like pirate level 1250. He's been playing for a fuck ton of time, and he is free to play. He's been free to play since he started. He's pirate level 1250, and he works fucking hard on this game, and it shows dividends. He doesn't have the newest shit, but you just work with what you have. That's the whole point of playing this game. It's an idea. It's in itself, it's a puzzle game. There's elements of figuring out what to do. Okay, Totsuki made a video that uses the new batch, but he said you can replace this unit with this one. Okay, I have this unit. I can put this one in. It doesn't work as well. Okay, maybe I try. The whole point of it is that you work around what you have. You're never going to have. It's very rare that you have all the legends all the time. It's very rare.
And a Minor Knight's defense as well. Like, we don't like do commentaries as much as what Totsuki does. So, but I'm sure if you, I speak for myself, and I'm sure if Knight would agree that if you commented on our videos saying, "Oh, I don't have this character. Is there a replacement for it?" If we know, and if you get to the video soon enough, we'll happily say, "Yep, a replacement is, for example, Usahachi." If it's Usahachi, okay, yeah, the best replacement for this mission might be Bobbin. You know what I mean? Like it, and then like we get the people who crack it in the same regard when we don't have videos of the new batch. It's like, guys, we didn't pull them, so we're not gonna have videos of them.
Yep. And
the exception to that being Coliseum Kid.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You need a replacement for him. I'm calling for a new topic.
Is that
Yeah.
it? Are we getting
I'm
heat? Are
calling
we
for
getting
new
too
topic.
heated?
We've pretty much said what we had to say.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
just keep in mind that at the end of the day, you have the means to do what you want when it comes to multis, and just don't be upset about other people doing whatever they want with their multis and their money as well. Without further ado, though, let's get into the actual topics we had written down. PvP season 1 has ended. The ace season is finally done. I believe it's done actually, or more or less should be
ends
done
tomorrow.
at this point.
Yeah, it's like 11 hours left.
And we had the prelims. We've gone to the finals. We have had all that stuff as well. Knight, how did you end up doing in PvP?
I kind of stopped playing because it like started when towards the end of treasure map, and I care more about treasure map than PvP,
Interesting.
to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
What
So,
rank do you think? Like, what rank
right
are you gonna
now?
end with?
I'm gonna end around like top 10,000 ish. So it's all
That's
all good. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. It still gives you like a buffer for Resource Island and stuff. But since that PvP is over and is ended at this point, I want to talk. I want us to talk about what do you guys think about PvP now that we hopefully we have a better idea on like gameplay and all that stuff overall. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on like after the first season of PvP?
From what I've seen, of
Sadly,
like,
have not had time to research it since my work's been quite demanding. But from what I've seen, it looked like, and from what like the brief conversations we've had, it's interesting how much like thought and stuff goes into it, especially like leveling up the different islands for
Yep.
like.
And we'll get into that.
But like, yeah, all
I'm
that kind of
excited
stuff.
for it to come.
Again, it's like I've said it before. It's a bit overwhelming, and I think I'll get more of a grasp on it when it comes to global. But it's still very, very overwhelming for me.
from what I've seen of content creators like Atsu and Boris, it seems like those guys love it. So
Yep.
if those guys like it, I'm sure that most of us are gonna like it as well.
Mhm.
And what I would like actually, I would really like them to add a feature where, so if you've got someone added on your friends list, I wish that there was a button where you could view all of your friends' defending teams and you could just challenge them. So if your friend puts up a certain defending squad, you could test your team against it or something. Like that'd be really cool.
That's smart.
Yeah, that would be a really cool feature I'd like them to implement.
That'd be interesting, actually, for sure.
Yeah.
What about Cobb? I know you got really heavy into it.
Yeah, I don't like the way the meta's trending right now. For PvP, I don't like the five unit all legend teams. I think it's defeating the purpose.
It's not even just
Yeah,
all legends.
and
It's Bullet,
well,
Whitebeard, it's Big Mom,
yeah, exactly.
it's Capone, it's Cracker.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Like,
Yeah, so I hope that they change it so you have to bring an entire team of units.
I think
but
like
yeah.
I don't mind it like with just the 5, but I feel like I think one of the biggest issues we saw with the first season is the rules are pretty much useless.
Yeah.
The rules, like I think what was Boris was saying, like I think it was like preliminary B was like dex down or something like that, HP down. There was only one level of HP, which is like 4 points of HP or some shit. So it doesn't impact enough, you know.
It kind of like if you guys have ever played like a heavy TCG game. I know like me, Dylan, and Cobby have played like heaps of Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. Like they should introduce like kind of like a ban list for each prelim, so that like if they know which characters are being used more often, just put up like a ban list for this prelim or for this like month of PvP. You can't use X characters.
And we know that they
would be
have that data.
Or like you can't use any characters that are strength or any
That's
characters
what I
that
was
are
going to say.
driven or something.
More like that. More along the line.
You can't use shooters. You can't use strikers. You can't use.
I think rather than saying like, oh, strikers get a debuff of -1 attack, it's like that doesn't like in the grand scheme of things over the whole fight that makes little to no impact whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, like, and then like even branch out to like full-on characters. You can't use the Luffy units. You can't use.
Yeah, exactly. Make it more like make people have to actually team build a lot more. I feel like.
Yeah, it would definitely encourage more team building for sure.
And also more tickets, more Pirate Festival tickets need to be added because there's an issue when it comes to resource islands.
That's what I've heard from people as well. It's going to take so long to just max stuff that it's just they need to add more. And like the rewards from what I've seen for PvP don't look that great.
They aren't.
Like the amount of gems you get, the amount of flags or scrolls you get doesn't seem that worth.
So should have tier for the people who started on the gem island.
When we first got a treasure map, it was the same deal though. Like the rewards are dog shit.
Yeah,
very true.
I think with I think PvP islands rewards, or not the island, sorry, but like the whole thing in general, will get upgraded faster just because they know from experience of TM. And I mean, like for starters, like rank 1 does get 150 gems, but when you think about it, like let's say Coruscant at the moment, the fucking crazy man has got rank 1 in prelims A, B, and C, and in the finals. So like inherently, that's like way too many gems to think about. But I think the last time that I saw, he was at 20,000 points. On average, you get like between 15 to 25 points per win. And you can only do 3 runs a day or 3 runs per gem. So like you can do the math on that one and realize how many gems he's spending.
That's ridiculous.
You know, exactly. So like the dividend you're getting is stupid. So I feel like going from 3 to 5 would be a huge jump and be fantastic even. Because if you could do 5 games a day, you get 5 wins, you come out with like, between 80 and 120 points. It's good work. Like it's going to boost you a little bit. It's not going to boost you a lot if you're not going to gem and actually like grind for a high rank. But just that smaller amount and more games to play is going to do a lot more work than only 3 per day, obviously. But on that as well, going to the resource island. So just a quick overview of actually the resource island. So it's a really unique thing that they've added to Treasure Cruise. I think we've talked about an idea of having a resource island kind of thing, but like I never would have realized that this was the methodology that they would have gone about like doing it in. But going on to it as well. So the resource island is broken up into 3 kind of categories. So you have islands that are on a timer, so an actual like hour-based clock. This is the Belly Cave, the Ray Points, the Meat Fire Pit, which is like stamina refill storage, and then there's the Gem Tree. So each one of those has a timer that's associated with it. Then once that timer has capped out, it will do whatever its maximum amount is. Then you also have islands that are once per day, that being the Limit Break Cave, the Miscellaneous Boat, and then the Power Up Fishing. The Miscellaneous Boat is like belly, tomes, limit break pots, and that kind of such. And then the Power Up Fishing is like evolvers and regular XP items. So those islands have the chance to be like the rate of success. So it's like a fail success and a super success. With the super success on Limit Break Island, you can get tablets, which is like really cool, but it's very rare to get the super success. The Miscellaneous Boat, you can get skulls, beetles, and then potentially gems as well. And then the Power Up Fishing, you can get like guaranteed support medals and silver and gold USBs, which is really cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Those ones are all really exciting. However, if you go to the actual like the percentages of them actually occurring, like at level 1, it's a 2% chance to be super success. So the odds aren't necessarily in your favor all too much. And then the passive being the Stamina Hot Spring and the Candy Obelisks, which gives you a passive boost. So the Stamina Hot Spring at maximum gives you plus 60 stam to your overall stam bar. And then obviously the Candy one gives you more max candy you can feed to units. Now, that being said, just from that alone, without me going into any more data, a shout out to Fate of Muffins, though. I got a lot of this stuff from his Reddit post. So, what do you guys think? Just that alone, what I've said, what do you guys think would be the preferred island to max out first?
I like the meat tree recently. I've been using it a lot.
Like the one that like gives you like over like that gives you like stam refill, or
Yeah, the stam refill one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. I don't think it'd be for me though. Like yeah.
What would you do, Dill, out of all those? If you
If
would
it
have maxed out one.
the limit break and the cotton candy, to be honest, because especially with like limit break plus and stuff like that,
Yep.
that's a big issue. And like I felt the pain of that this Sugo Fest, so like I can't imagine how bad it's gonna get in the future. But and yeah, cotton candy, it's always cool, good to have like your characters able to go to plus 600, so it'd be really cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree with the limit break selection. That's a really good one. But so initially I thought the attack cotton candy was going to be like the one that I was like 100% wanted to go all in on. But after really thinking about it and watching a lot of Boris's streams recently, he's been streaming a lot of PvP on Twitch, and I have noticed that you use a lot of gems refilling for PvP. So I
Mhm.
do think that the rainbow gem tree, is probably the best bet, just because you can use those gems you get from that to then help you refill PvP.
Yes.
So
I
I
agree.
think that actually makes a lot of sense.
Jobo, what do you think? Gem tree as well?
Yeah, I think Gem Tree.
And I think for newer players as well, like newer players and lower level players that are not going to play PvP as heavily can just save up those rainbow gems for Sugo Fests or whatever. I think it makes sense, honestly.
Cobb, what do you think, man? I know you got.
I'd probably be going for the limit break as well, to be honest.
Mhm.
Either that or the cotton candy obelisks, because I think the cotton candy obelisks will help you be better in PvP as well. So I guess maybe it's a quality versus quantity of your PvP runs
I think
versus
I
the gem
honest to
tree.
God
But
think it kind of comes down to what kind of player you are. If you're a veteran, like if you're someone that spends money, you're not the gem tree is irrelevant.
Yeah,
More
well,
or
yeah,
less.
that's what I was thinking. Like the gem, that's why the gem trees. It's like it's good, but like it doesn't appeal to me. Like for any content that's happened that like I've decided to like farm heavily, whether that be blitz battle, treasure map, I've got no issue spending gems if I want to place.
Yeah.
Because like it's like well, I want these rewards and I'm willing to like spend my gems for it.
See, the thing is, the difference is though, Dill, is that for TM, you spend a gem, you can do like potentially 1.5 maps per gem on average, right? On Blitz, you can do as many runs as your stam bar lets you.
Yeah.
On PvP, you're capped at 3. That's the only like PvP consumes gems at an absurd rate.
Yeah, and
Like it's
because you don't get
actually
many
expensive.
points per clear either.
On
It
average
takes a
between
lot.
15 to 25. And even to get those points, you have to recycle and refresh teams until you find a team that you can beat.
Then again, I do think that ranking on PvP will be a lot different on global. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
It will be.
But
Like
then
you,
again,
you already,
what
you already see like treasure map like with treasure map and on between global and chance a really good example is us like if any of us here try to rank on global for PvP not PvP treasure map we can make top 500 without a sweat, like it's really fucking easy, but in Japan it's almost double the amount of runs we have than what we do.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
TSF. Rank 1 did 500 nav levels. Like, just let that
Like,
sink
that's
in for a little
absurd.
bit.
Yeah, and when we were making top 10 it was I think I capped out at 150.
I think the most Lay's done is 200 something. I think that's global. That's rank 1 global 200.
Yeah.
That's peanuts for Japan. Like,
It's crazy to think that.
it is.
Like
I know, right?
this makes you think like, what are they doing all day? Are they literally just sitting down all day playing it? Like, are they
Honest to God,
playing
yeah.
the game in the shower? Are they showering?
Are they showering?
I had to work and stuff during those high rankings, but even then it was fucking hard. Like
Yeah,
when I slept, I only got about 2 hours sleep,
it
and
is
then I
like that.
woke up and I kept grinding, and like it's a grind. It's hard enough on global, so I could not imagine trying to place in Japan.
It's a struggle there. But on that though, so I want to get into a little bit more statistics, two stacks. You know, get a little bit in depth. Go into Joba's Masters of Mathematics. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
boy.
have a quick peep into some numbers. So, according to Fate of Muffins, he says that if you spend on average 10 gems per season, this being 10 gems over prelim A, B, C, and then assume you get into finals, you're on average going to get 12,000 tickets. On average.
Yeah.
If you spent 100 gems per season, which essentially might put you in rank 1K of finals, let's assume, you get 22,000 tickets.
Jesus, that is not worth it.
Okay, so now that we've got that in your head, so just think about that, let that percolate. In terms of the islands that are on a timer, for you to rank from level facility level 1 to level 35, you need an accumulative total of like just shy of 100,000 tickets per island. That's 100,000 tickets for Belly Cave, the training dummy, the meat spit, and the gem tree. Not the gem tree, sorry. Gem tree? Not the gem tree. I'm looking at the wrong one. This is Evolver's Belly, Stam, and Hot Spring. You
Mhm.
need 100k for each of those. For the Rainbow Tree, Limit Break Mats, Training Dummy, and the miscellaneous one, which is like the evolvers and things, you need just shy of 200k.
Oh my god.
For the Cotton Candy, each one needs just shy of 300k tickets.
Yeah, so no one's getting anything maxed out anytime soon.
No, literally. And this is where I want to get into the kind of total conversation of like, with that in mind, and let's assume you get 15,000 tickets a season. You're spending a mid amount of gems. You're getting about 15 to 20,000 tickets a season. What the fuck do you go for when it comes to upgrading? Because there's a lot of different islands and they cost a lot of like. What kind of approach do you take?
I think
Do
it's
you-
I think the cotton candy are completely pointless at this point. I think there's
And
no
that-
reason. There's no
Yeah,
reason to
I
get cotton candies.
didn't realize. I thought they were the 200k ones.
That's where I'm going to hit you with some big stats. I got
Yikes.
numbers. So for you to max out one of the cotton candy islands to plus 100 costs you 300k, right? For you to max out 3 of them to plus 90, it costs you 260k total for 3 of them. So there's a lot more strategy to maxing out the island than meets the eye, because thinking about that, getting one of the islands, one of the candy things, let's say attack to plus 100, it's 300k. But if you get all of them to plus 90, so plus 270 total as opposed to plus 100 total, it's 260k total, 86k per stone.
Wait, so a cotton candy to get them fully maxed out
Costs
hypothetically-
300k.
Okay, well then, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because there's a jump from between level 30 to 31. There's a huge jump in terms of cost.
Yeah.
So, like, where is it? Candy goes from at level 30. No, sorry, at level 29, you need 59,000 tickets, so 60k tickets. At level 30, you need 86k. So there's a huge jump between that 29 to 30.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They need to buff the rewards, I think.
That's what it is. So I think Fader Muffins, like, he recommends the gem tree. And I feel like that recommendation comes with like a kind of caveat of like somebody who doesn't necessarily want to spend, like, isn't spending a lot of gems. Because the gem tree at level 5, every year you get 99.5 gems a year. The gem tree at level 30 is 208 gems a year. Gem tree at level 35 is 438 extra gems per year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what do you guys think with all that now? Does that change anything? Do you think the gem tree is the wave? Do you think, like, because then, for example, if you focus 100% of your resources on the gem tree, let's say you're getting 22k tickets a season, it takes you 3 months, assuming that every season is 1 month. Every month you have a season, 3 months of like playing. Just to completely max out the gem tree, which means getting top 1k as well at some point.
Yeah, I'd probably do the gem tree then.
It's crazy because if you split all your like focus between resources, and let's say you're getting the 22k, he calculated it to be 28 months total to max out everything between a split focus of all the facilities. So it's interesting. Like it does come with a bit of like interest there, because it doesn't just necessarily mean tickets. You also have to rank high at least one time. You have to rank top 1k at least once, which is huge.
Yeah. I don't know.
See how huge ranking top 1k really is when it comes to global, because I don't think it's going to be that difficult for us.
But they might change it to top
I think it's going to
500,
be
though.
different.
I think it's going to be like top 500 for us. It's going to be probably less even.
Yeah, it will be. Because, I mean, look at the Kaido ranking that we're about to get on global. They actually
Split in
lowered
half.
the threshold. Yeah, they lowered
Threshold,
the threshold.
and then like the rewards basically split in half because they lowered the threshold.
In that, we'll see. Because like if you're going by that logic, because for example they make the Kaido thing easy for us, then they'd make it be top 2k for us then.
No, well, our TM rewards are different from JP because
They're
we've got
worse.
less players.
Yeah, they're worse in theory. So
Yeah.
they might be.
I still think for us, like us veterans, I reckon we're not gonna have an issue because we're the people that, like,
of
us
course.
and like the people that we know of, like, that are the top players. we're the people that people are going to be trying to kick out of the top 1K, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
of
I mean,
course.
you only
Yeah.
ever need it once.
The
That's
threshold
the
will be
best
lowered
part.
for global. Like you'll have to rank higher in a higher rank to get the same rewards as what you'd get on JP at a
Yeah.
higher rank. Yeah.
All I'm saying is I don't think it that us play like how we, because I know how we all play the game, and once we set our mind to something, for the most part we do it. Like,
Yeah. I
like the
feel
fact
like
the fact that like
it's
I've made top 10 twice. Joba's made top. What'd you make, Joba?
Top 20 twice.
Top 20 twice. Papi came first in the farming event. Cobby ranked really highly there too. Todd's
second on the
always
list.
ranking highly in treasure map and like blitz battles. So we've got experience and we're willing to do the grind. So I think we're like comparatively we're in like the tier just below the super duper tryhards
I
for the
think
treasure
it's
map.
like, but I think we have to you have to necessarily think about it in the sense of like a general player, right?
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
like it's for us. Like, I think it's going to be interesting where people kind of throw their like tickets because the tickets aren't abundant, and I don't think that's going to change. I think the amount of tickets you earn is going to stay relatively the same to what JP is currently getting. We might get a small buff just due to the fact that JP might get a buff.
Yeah, I think because like this period of in JP is very much like a testing phase.
Yeah,
Like the
100%.
first one always is. They're testing the waters and seeing what works, what doesn't, and what they need to improve, and vice and like what and whatnot. And being the fact that we are of a later version,
Yeah.
so we might get lucky, get those buffs immediately, or we might get shafted and have to wait until Japan did. So we might have to just push through the grind like they did.
So like I don't know,
Yeah.
like I always held the idea that Limit Break Island might be the wave for a long time
Yeah.
because like I feel like because like obviously as you upgrade it more, your chance of success gets higher. So like it ends at level 35. It's 10% chance of super success, 80% chance for regular success, and then 10% chance of failure. So the super success isn't going to be that high, but just like the 80% chance of success is going to be more mats overall. But I guess if the mat numbers are really low, then it probably won't make a dent like at all, most if not all the time.
They could always change it, can't they? Like the amount of stuff you get, because this is only the first one. So, like the first TM, it had a certain amount of rewards, and then they got better over time.
That's true. We'll see.
So
I think it'd be interesting to see how things play out, though. That's for sure.
I just want PvP to come to global already, man.
yeah,
That's
it's
true,
exciting.
though.
It's every time there's a new game mode, there's always like something else kind of to look forward to, something to kind of get excited for. Units doing different things just means that there's more units that it's cool to have. More
I'm excited to
reasons
use
to
units
pull.
I haven't used in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you excited to use Bullet?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Dude,
I want to
I can
try
finally
try
use
Bullet
Bullet.
stuff.
I can never use Bullet because I always have fucking the normal attack only. Like that man's been shafted hard by normal attack
And
only.
that's the thing, like I haven't used Bullet because like just the new units are usually the better choice in that
Yeah. And he's a bit
in, like,
slow.
Bullet's still pretty decent though. He gets shit done.
he
Oh yeah,
does.
for sure.
Bullet does work. 100%.
I still think he's like literally T0 legend worthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that normal attack only really fucks him, and he's a little bit slower because his
Not
cooldown
really.
is
Well,
16.
it doesn't
I think.
fuck him as much as Kaido or V2 Katakuri.
Yeah,
like,
true.
He
But-
actually
I don't think it
better.
fucks in that. I think his special is just an added benefit. You know what I mean?
I honestly think
I guess.
his special isn't great because of
I
normal
mean,
attack.
it's just a bonus. That's all it is. Like at the end of the day, you're using
It's just
Bullet
an-
just for the
it's
Like
pure power.
I'm very much in the same mindset as Todd. I like them to be their own attack booster or booster or something or manipulator and shit like that. And
That's really
Yeah,
it's really
that's
shitty for those characters that like rely heavily on doing that shit, like with Bullet, Kaido, and Katakuri. Like their specials are just completely pointless under normal attacks only. Like if they had some sort of other effect, like where they give you orbs or they give you an attack boost or an orb boost or an affinity boost, just something. But no, their
Yeah.
I'm
specials
surprised
pointless.
Bullet didn't give like a boost as well. It was a pretty interesting decision to not do that.
It does mean you have to run the hybrid teams pretty often with them to get like another special ability.
Bullet can hybrid very easily, which is
Yeah.
good.
But that boy has so much support, like regardless though.
Yeah, Yeah, Bullet
is a
it'll
lot
take
of
a lot for
support.
Bullet to be bad.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time for him to get out. I mean, look at Snake Man. Like, it's gonna take a long
Yeah.
time for him to
Yeah.
get out scale.
And his support is
Snake Man,
beefy.
you say like look at Snake Man, but like you say that, but Snake Man is an orb booster and a chain booster.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, it's gonna like he's
Snake Man
one
has
of
a
those.
V2 and V1 is still god tier. Like,
The V1 can be used with
Yeah.
V2. That's the best
Yeah.
part about it.
yeah. It's pretty
But
dope.
speaking of new legends,
Shout out to that
I mean,
guy.
we didn't even speak of it, but fuck it. That's my segue now. Kid and Hawkins are out. They have dropped, and
Finally, we have a legend kid, and he's fucking awesome.
and Nightmare pulled him in 4 multis. So that goes to
Shout out
show.
to that guy.
That goes to show you don't even know that you need to go to the fucking 30 limit. You just need to pull him in 4, baby. It's time.
Yeah. You just be lucky.
Kid is out. Kid is. I mean, where do we start? We start with
I
Hawkins.
love Legend Kid. He's honestly
hit
my
it. Just
favorite
hit it.
legend in the game right now.
Hit it.
Like,
Hit it.
I'm not even kidding. I actually think Kid is ridiculously underrated by the community. I know a lot of people like him and they say, "Oh, he's really, really good," but I think he's legit like top 3. Like, he's
I think
insane.
he's really good. I wouldn't. He's top 10, not top 3.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
wouldn't say 3. I wouldn't say.
I'd say 5.
Between 5 and 10.
I'll take 7. Fuck it. I'll average it out.
Yeah, because like
Fucking
yeah.
13.
He's the best legend in the game.
and that's you gotta think, like he's just come out. People have these goggles on that they love Kid, and he's met expectations, so he's good. But like then you got then you got to think when Nami Robin came out and when Pudding came out, everyone said they were amazing. They were the goat tier. It's like
Except for me. I actually said at the very start I didn't like him.
That's true.
yeah. I'm not saying I don't like them. I think Pudding's fucking amazing, and I'm a bit bummed out. Like her special and her that
Does
all
not get used.
not being used, but they're very, very good, and they're very, very niche. Yeah, I just don't like. I like, but I also don't like the meta that Japan's going with. Like the high booster for one color, and they still boost the others a little bit. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about that meta.
It depends how they integrate it. Like, 'cause if they give them unique gimmicks, that
like
would
this,
make
like
the character
Bullet,
interesting.
sorry, like Kid, for example. Super Bomb slots is brand new, and the fact that he can utilize it immediately
I'm
is
not
fucking
surprised.
crazy.
But like you got to think, there's always like whenever they introduce something, you got to think, oh well, someone from a new batch coming is going to either utilize it or get around it.
Mhm.
Always.
And except if it's normal attacks only, no one gets around normal attacks only.
There's gonna somebody they're gonna do
sure,
something,
man.
bro. It's
Well, if there's 10 turns or less.
sure, man. Cherry 6+ is gonna remove it completely. Calling it right now.
Oh, I will.
It's
Oh
actually funny
man.
because when we knew that Legend Kid was coming, I was hoping that his super type was going to do damage like through normal attacks only.
That'd be so good.
But that's one
Aw,
of the
man.
reasons why I love this
Then
character.
he'd be
so
top
much.
3.
I love
Maybe
his
rank
super
1.
special. His
But
super
he's-
special's nuts. The fact that it does damage 100 times his attack, typeless to all enemies that goes through all defensive effects. And then he changes all orbs, including block, into bomb orbs, which he treats as beneficial. You get
For
the
all
super typing for
characters.
Dex. And the really cool thing is, right, is the fact that when you just compare him to like Snake Man, because that's what a lot of people are comparing to him right now, because he's pretty similar in a lot of ways. But even Snake Man didn't get rid of block orbs. But I really like it because when you use his super special and you get those bomb orbs, when you launch his special ability, he empties those slots out, does the damage, and then changes all your orbs into Super Bomb. And Super Bomb cannot be manipulated.
Super Bomb is a new Wano orb. It's a new rainbow. But so you know the funny thing is, I was just reading this over again. We were all like, bro, that new TM Luffy, the Dex one, that unit is so good. Too bad it's a Luffy unit. And
Works perfectly.
everyone was asleep. Everyone was asleep. And then Kid came out, was like, "What's up?" You know,
Yeah.
like that TM Luffy is so good for this for this kid. Like, holy shit! It's I don't know. Like this unit is
And then they released the
bonkers.
PvP CP0 Lucci as well. The data download was last night. And he's a Dex unit and works with Kid. He's got utility and his color affinity booster, and he's just pretty good.
2.5 times attack boost to Dex units. Changes empty orbs into Super Bomb. And empties all orbs first and does damage based upon those.
Yeah, you can get 3 mil damage with his when you consume 6
Like,
orbs.
come on, dude. 2.5 times
Like,
bruv.
that's the cool thing as well. Is like he won't enemies cannot like react to his special unless if it's like a damaging special, like unless if they do something really bad. But like they can't change your orbs around if you manipulate them because he makes them super bomb.
This unit is, and like the members required for the super typing are they're all like quite good.
Yeah, all the
You know?
supernovas.
Which
Like
is
you can use the new TM Luffy to fulfill that. The new X Drake rare recruit, you can use it to fulfill it. New Legend Hawkins.
Zoro.
you could, yeah. I mean, you could as well.
Could.
That's the thing.
But what's his classes? Driven Striker. Wow, that's great.
Fuck, man. Holy
Yeah,
shit! And
he's dope. I love this kid.
it's fun. Like,
Hey, that's a dangerous wording.
Oh no, Chris Hansen up in here now.
You just got called out by Joba.
Hey, whoa, what are you saying?
that's an
What are you
L,
trying to
bro.
say?
That's an L, bro. Before we all get taken into the police station, Hawkins came out. Yep.
Wait,
Hawkins-
yeah, he
Hawkins
came out, right?
Go
Yeah.
back to where he fucking came from.
His art is sick. That's all I gotta say, bro. Everything else about him is like mediocre. Not mediocre. He's
Yeah,
actually
like,
not
why
a
the
pretty
fuck
good
did they
legend.
bother?
He's not bad,
He ain't
but
good.
No,
he's just not what we expected.
There's just a lot of things that they did wrong.
He's like fucking 2015 legend.
No, disagree.
Nah,
He's on par with V2 Cutter, I'd say, around that level. Like
he's similar.
500k like attack, typeless damage to one enemy. Orb. See, this is the issue. Changes own orb and adjacent orbs into matching. Why the fuck are we still doing adjacent orbs in 2020?
Facts.
It should have, if it was a full board of orbs to matching, that would have been so much better than it being a adjacent orbs. Like, it doesn't like. It's just useless.
Hawkins. Okay, his super type requirement is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's too much effort.
It's stupid.
Hawkins
who
must
don't
be
know.
captured
This
and
shit.
an active support ability must be activated.
Yeah, and that doesn't count. And that doesn't count like Vivi or anything, does
It
it?
has to be a support effect that the enemy has triggered upon you.
See, so yeah, that's like it's like bobbins if you like get attacked down and
Yeah, or V1 Rayleigh, Corazon.
yeah, that's
Bobbins.
shit. That is so
But
convoluted.
I feel like
Unnecessary.
Hawkins was not made to be a captain. I don't think.
Oh shit.
Hawkins should have been made.
I don't think he was made to be a captain. And I like on his captain, the fact that it's a 3x attack boost to Dex, 2.75 otherwise, and 1.3 HP, like those numbers, that's too low.
You know,
Especially-
now that I'm thinking about it, this guy as a sub with Kid is actually really good because
Really
even if you are in those
good, yeah.
situations where like you're up against really heavy strength enemies, like this is going to help you get through that.
100%. No, like him as a sub is great. It's fine. Like, okay, the adjacent orbs and like you get 4 orbs out of it. It's kind of like lame. But like him as a sub, especially because you get additional typeless damage, like 20 times, so a max of 1 mil. So not V2 Cutter levels, but 1 mil for 3 turns as well is really good as a sub. As a captain, though, is not.
I was just
worth
thinking you could even use the new Snake Man as a sub on this Kid team. And because he's a Luffy, he'll trigger, or Hawkins and the new Luffy will trigger it. But like Luffy's a Rainbow 2.5 orb booster, and
Yep.
Kid still boosts all other colors as well, so he'll still get a boost from that. And then the thing about it is, if you use Hawkins special as a sub to give adjacent orbs matching, Luffy will get a strength orb, and then Kid, when you use his special, he consumes bomb, super bomb, dex, and strength orbs for his consuming to deal the damage. So like,
Do you think that the fact that but I was gonna say, do you think the fact that the adjacent is there is for like potentially that kind of purpose where you're guaranteeing yourself 4 of those colored orbs?
I don't think
like,
there's any excuse,
you-
honestly. He should have just been a full board.
It's an odd choice.
And block orbs.
It should have been blocked.
Agreed.
It's not even. Yeah, it's a very odd decision to do adjacent. Very odd. The other numbers are fine. Like 1 mil additional damage for 3 turns is fine. Like it's not like as high as we've ever seen, obviously, but it's decent enough for over 3 turns as well. It's quite good.
I'm actually happy that when you launch his special, he doesn't health cut, because health cuts are so prominent with interrupts.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
just does a lot of single target, and then he does tap timing bonus, which I think is way better.
So
Thanks
just
a lot,
diverging a little
Bullet.
bit off of Hawkins because I'm over talking about him.
Oh yeah,
Who-
I mean,
do you think we're going to get all of the supernovas now as legends. Like,
This is one of my topics I was going to bring up.
yeah, because like Apu is showing some signs of maybe being legend worthy.
Whoa.
Whoa,
hang on. We're not going there yet.
Hold on. Before we go into that topic, I want to swing it back. Now that we have these 6 units, like now we know these in reality these are the sixth anniversary units. What's our consensus ranking of the 6 units? I think the assumed would be Snake Man's at the very top and Hawkins is at the very bottom. Agree or disagree?
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think Snake Man at the top. My favorite is Katakuri. I'm not sure how strength-wise.
I still think Katakuri is 2. I still think Katakuri is number 2.
My favorite is
Kid.
Sabo, just for the fact that he looks like fun to use. Like he's interesting and he's different, and I think that's really cool. I know obviously he's not the strongest, but he looks. And I've been playing around with him on my JP account, and it just looks. He's just really fun to use.
Sabo.
Sabo?
Sabo, yeah. I'm really enjoying using him. He's not the most powerful, but yeah, he's really cool. He's got the chain boost, the chain.
Yeah, the chain boost. And
the chain boost.
Yeah, I mean, you can't discard the fun factor because that's what it's all about.
I used V2 Sanji well and truly after his he was like
his expiry date.
Bro,
expiry date. Just
like Kaido is probably my favorite legend just because he lets you be lazy. Like I think, you know what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
And being lazy is fun to me. So,
what do you think? With Snake Man's 1, what takes number 2 slot?
Kid, for sure.
I think it's Kid.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd say Kid. Here, Kata.
Yeah, then Kata.
I would say Kata.
And then Blackbeard.
See, now
Blackbeard 4.
This is the hard one now.
This because this is very opinionated, like very.
Again, you could also say Blackbeard number 3 too. Like
you could say Blackbeard 1, bro. It's just Blackbeard's numbers alone
against side content.
Like then his number, like his damage output alone. If you're talking about like damage output, he's putting up like 500 mils plus. So like numbers like that, but I don't know. It's completely subjective at this point between the next 2, like rank 4 and rank 5. It's very hard to put in between it.
What? Sabo
and Blackbeard.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Sabo and Hawkins. I was going to be very effective.
Oh, bro, fuck no. We all know Hawkins is unfortunately at the very bottom, bro. I like Sabo
more than Blackbeard, and I like how Sabo works more than
Blackbeard. Agree. I personally I don't like Blackbeard as much, so I'd probably put Sabo above Blackbeard myself.
Personal preference.
And personally, I would say Blackbeard over Sabo just because
Blackbeard
has
we're 2-1.
Disadvantage.
We're 2-1. Who's next? Cobb, what do you think?
Nah, Sabo's 5th. If your numbers are low, you got to go.
Says the man who's a Kumurasaki simp.
Blackbeard's hitting 500 million. I'd rather use Kumurasaki than Sabo.
Joba, what do you think? Joba?
You're all correct, I think.
No, I need. Don't be the nice guy.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm sorry. God damn it. You're exposing me.
Sabo. Which one's better? Blackbeard or Sabo?
Yeah. I think Blackbeard's better.
So we're 3-1. So I think we lose regardless. Wait, no, Knight. Knight's gonna say Blackbeard.
Yeah, Blackbeard.
All right. Well, that's according to a democracy vote. That's our list then. Snake, Kid. I forgot list. Snake, Kid, Katakuri, Blackbeard, Sabo, and Hawkins. That's the 6. Yeah. Hopefully, people that did pools on 6th anniversary saw some success with that one as well. But now we can go back to that small tangent topic of now that they're on this path, do we think the supernovas are all going to get legends now? That's a really interesting topic. Actually.
This is exactly what I was going to bring up as my other topic later was for new super type legends in the future. I'd say it's almost a shoo-in that the quick super type is going to be Trafalgar Law.
100%.
Yeah,
that's a really good shout.
I've always thought, everyone has been talking about a kid legend.
X-Drake.
I mean, X-Drake just got a rare recruit, so I don't know how long.
X-Drake will be a little later.
I don't. I know that'll be a while, but I don't think Law's going to be the very next one either. I think it could. I reckon they can move on to Capone.
Wait, Law got a rare recruit recently too, so maybe.
Yeah.
Bonnie.
She doesn't deserve a legend.
Sick. Excuse me?
Hasn't done anything.
Oh, remember what was brought up the other day in the subreddit Discord as well about how moving into this next month was the Bride Month in Japan, which brought the waifus.
Bonnie and Sugar.
So it
Bonnie
could be
and Sugar! Oh no! Sugar's gonna be a super type quick legend 5 times base. Oh no!
That would be pretty upsetting.
Sugar's gonna be the shit one. Sugar's gonna be the Hawkins, please. Sugar's gonna be the Hawkins.
And Bonnie's gonna be absolutely OP.
Oh, Bonnie's gonna be a 5 times quick.
You launch Sugar's super type and it like kills enemies if they're below a certain threshold or some shit.
Yeah, it should be one of those.
I reckon it should just turn them into toys and then make them like
weaker or something.
Weaker.
Yeah, like toys which like puts them at half defense and they deal half damage when they attack.
It should do like a Mihawk Perona swap, like the negative thing.
Yeah, I 100%
toys, not an HP cut, none of that. Just make their defense lower and their attack lower for like X amount of turns or whatever.
Interesting. Wouldn't it be funny if like Sugar ends up being like best legend in the game?
Sugar, bro, that's
what man, that would be the meme of the century.
Sugar is gonna be the bro. This video is gonna come out in like 7 months' time. So it's gonna be like, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tier list video.
This is gonna age well.
Later, tier 0 is just Sugar.
Bruh, are you aware of how much shit we correctly predict? It's gonna happen.
Podcast is fucked. This podcast predicts a lot of shit, bro.
So
hey, why? Because we're all big brain.
Yeah, we're all 5 heads, bro.
So a real answer to that question, everyone has been talking about a kid legend for a long time, but I always thought that he hadn't really had his time yet in the manga. But obviously he is now, and I think all of the supernovas are going to get like a lot of focus like before the end comes. So they're definitely going to have legends before long.
Well, I think it's a good like Todd said.
I always liked the supernovas. When they were first introduced, I really liked that they had these like coincide like what's the word, like predetermined like people that look like they're going to be in positions of power. So you've already got like the Yonko and stuff like that, but then you had the supernovas that were like these young up and comers that were absolutely trailblazers, and they were looking
the new
to
wave.
Exactly. And you could tell that these guys were going to be the ones to overthrow the Yonkos, whether it be in the next couple of years or by the end of the series. You know what I mean? And like,
I think they're all going to work together before the end.
At the end of when the series ends, you don't know who's going to die and who's going to take people's mantles and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's One Piece. No one's going to die. But I think they're all going to work together, at some point. Like even Apu and Hawkins, I think are going to join.
I think a few people are going to end up dying by the end of the series.
Yeah, sure.
Not on the main, I mean, like Yonkos and stuff like that. Because like the whole current far out. The whole current storyline is connected to like taking out the Yonkos, right? Surely one of them has to die eventually, and then will lead into like. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing here, but like I can see people like taking up mantles, like or like taking places like that. Especially since the whole warlord system got demolished and shit like that. So
I see what you mean.
Where's my Mad D Monk legend?
Oh yeah,
legend. It's gonna happen. I didn't even think about that.
Dude, people are so happy about
He's gonna be the shit legend. He's gonna be with X-Drake, and he'll be the shit one.
He's gonna be like a powerhouse fighter, some absolute tank.
Well, with his he has to tank damage for him to get stronger.
Yo, that's a good ass fucking idea though. Instead of it being like you tank damage, then you pop a special that does like additional typeless or does AoE or whatever. You tank damage and pop a special, and that factors into how high the attack and orb boost are or some shit.
Ooh.
Or it's like along those lines.
Or how you pop the super type.
Or what his base attack is. Or exactly. Or like how much damage his super type does, or something like. Bro, that'd be sick.
Super type like increases damage taken, but you don't die for a turn or some shit.
That'd be really cool.
So you just take so much and you just launch a special and just destroy them in the following turn.
I
don't know, but that's still really slow. And the fact is, if you have to stall a turn on a boss fight and then they activate more shit on turn 2, it's like, that's kind of annoying.
And the content's just gonna get harder and harder as time goes on. So,
but another character that I think could be on the way could be potentially a super type V2 Kaido. I could see that for sure. Maybe a
Bro,
side type.
I don't even want to think about a V2 Kaido.
That could happen, man. I'm
Kaido,
just
Big
saying.
Mom dual unit.
Jesus,
Did I?
bro,
Hey, Kaido V1 the wave.
bro, fuck Kaido V2. All my homies,
All my
hate
homies
Kaido.
hate Kaido, yeah. Nah, all my homies
How
hate
about-
normal attacks only.
How about another Luffy? That's probably a good idea. Actually.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a while.
We need
No,
one.
dude,
every
I was
month.
actually saying this to Dill the other day. I actually really want a new Boa legend.
Yeah.
No, you don't, because
Yeah, I kind of do.
6 months after her release, when you've pulled her 35,
Oh,
times,
man.
you want to blow your brains out once again.
Oh, we definitely deserve a new Boa for sure.
Just imagine him not getting her for months though, and that pop off when he finally does. That's still one of my favorite videos.
When he,
Yeah.
I know my favorite video is when he kicks
Imagine he does the 30 gem and they've coded it wrong, and he pulls V2 Boa on the 30th multi.
Oh no.
They put the wrong boa.
Yeah.
Don't even.
And no,
No,
That's
30
one of my best emotes I've ever made.
the
I'll just
30
have a rant on something real quick. You know how they fucked up the Brulee banner on global.
Yep.
The makeup was you get you get a free recruit for however many times you did that multi. It didn't even include Brulee. It didn't include any of the
I didn't
support
even
unit.
know. I didn't even read
Well,
that.
I got a support unit from my one.
No,
Well-
it didn't include Brulee support though.
Yeah,
Why not?
that's what I want to know.
That's what we're saying. Why?
Should just be
it was-
whatever unit is on the 11th of the second multi, right?
All three of mine were like trash. Like not, and like I have not seen anybody who got like a Brulee or like any of the actual support banners.
My
I find that-
compensation was the support Strusen.
Yeah,
I
well,
find that hilarious that Brulee.
Yeah, that was really dumb, by the way. They should have just refunded the multi.
They
to be
should just
honest.
refund
I
the
agree.
multi. Like, why- They didn't include Brulee. That's fucked. That's
That's
just
actually that's fucked. Thanks, Bandai, once again.
that's some Bandai clag if I've ever.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Speaking on that,
huh?
Go.
Oh, I was just saying, are there any other like super types before we end this one? Are there any like super type legends you'd love to see in the future? I think Crocodile deserves a
Croc
super type.
deserves a super
yeah.
type. I reckon that'd be sick. Something with sand or some shit.
Dex. Hey,
Like
And no.
bro, Crocodile's
Andrew,
one of my favorite
Andrew,
legends.
Andrew,
Oh,
Andrew
no.
needs a new
Yo,
legend.
yes.
Andrew needs a new legend so bad, dude.
Oh yes, I just got hard.
Smoker.
Whoa! Run it back. Run that shit. What
Speaking of
happened?
which,
He-
Oh, wait, what?
legend.
speaking
Smoker.
of which,
Yeah.
Smoker's gonna get one.
Well, he is
Hopefully-
getting one.
Hopefully
Yeah,
it's
he could be
fucking
super type.
sick. Hopefully it's dope though.
Yo, well, there's super type where like he like phases into smoke and like you don't take any effect.
Yeah, Captain
preempts or
like
something.
Ooh.
sober mask.
yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, no, but
super
it's a
mask,
super type
yeah.
though, so it stays active for the whole quest or some shit.
Or like
That'd-
his super type makes him smoke and he can like bypass all defensive effects with normal attacks or some shit.
That'd be fucking dope.
Like
Or it
Sober
makes the
Mask.
whole team smoke. Just start
Right.
smoking.
That'd be cool.
Oh, and release him on April 20th, you know?
Okay, keep it moving.
I see you,
Anyway.
big dog.
This is a 15 plus show, sir. We're allowed one swear word an episode.
Oh,
All
boy.
right.
All right, cool.
Speaking on that banner stuff, though, interestingly enough, gem sales. I had a lot to talk about.
Oh, man.
I've had a
I do
very,
too.
I've had a very long and hard pause.
There really was a pause. I was like, hold on.
Comedic relief. Gem sales though. Gem sales are never apparent on global, but with the recent gem sales on 6th Annie, we've finally bared witness to the potential that Bandai Namco OPTC can provide for the game. You know, with the likes of that crazy 100 gems for like how much was it? Like 3,000 yen.
$20.
2,000 yen for 100 gems or some shit. Like that is
That was a
bugging.
one-time off purchase, I think.
But like that's so good though.
Global
you
never
know?
gets that.
But this is what I want to get into. So I want to talk about like why do we think it's important for gem sales? Just like that's such a dumb question, but it still has a lot of substance to it.
Well, if
Like-
you're expecting people to do 30 fucking multis for a new legend, I think that you I wouldn't say you're obligated, but you should definitely provide some sort of way to people to get those gems at a slightly discounted rate.
Tell
Yeah,
it.
because like we only got what like 10 extra gems for buying the fucking big pack.
Yeah, 13
That's
extra
that's
gems per
fuck all.
pack.
Like even make it like 2 times. You can only buy this gem pack twice and you get 110 gems.
Yeah, what they should do is just like 2 or 3 times, just get double the amount of gems you get from a
So
pack.
what? Okay, so here we'll start with this. What would you guys prefer? Would you guys prefer a regular cost for a gem pack but more gems, or would you prefer a discounted gem pack?
I mean,
I
if you
think
ask a regular
that's probably-
player there's going to be different stuff. I mean, we all know how many we want to pull, so the end result's going to be the same. I think either way is fine.
if they
you
want,
know?
I think that the smart decision is to discount the price because then you'll get people to buy more gems. Just
think
more
discounting
generic players
is
who wouldn't normally buy
better.
gems would
I think
purchase it.
discounting is way better.
It's a smarter decision for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at games like Dokkan Battle; they do it very often, and they get a lot of people summoning. If Dokkan Battle did it the opposite way, where it's just like it's the same price, but you just double the amount, like people on Dokkan Battle, are like, no, fuck this, I'm not doing that. But because it's discounted, it tempts people to buy it. They're like, oh, I could spare $20. Yeah, I could spare $30. Yeah, why not? You know?
And this is an interesting point because with a lot of gacha games that like currently like are out and doing quite well for themselves. For example, things like Dragalia, things like Dan Memo, even things like 7DS, they offer
Shout out to
players
the memo.
this fucking guy. They offer players like a 1 week pack or a 30-day pack that you buy and then every day you get something from it. So from 7DS, for example, you purchase this 30 days, so it's 1 month pack, and every day you get, I think it's like 5 gems per day, and then up front you get like 15, but then you get 5 every day. So overall, you're getting a lot of gems for like I think it's like $30 a month. So like
That's so good. That'd be
I
so good
wanna-
for PvP as well.
that's what I was gonna say. I want to pick your brains and be like, what do you guys think would be because like obviously we can say give us 1,000 gems and you can be very like absurd with it. What do you think is a fair like exchange for Treasure Cruise in general? If they were to do, let's say, every month they had like a pack where you could buy it every month and you'd get gems every day, what would be a fair exchange in that sense? How much? How many gems?
Okay, what about this is one I just thought of just off the
like
top of
what
my head.
kind of
Extra daily gem. Extra daily gem would be cool for like
No,
$10.
one's not enough. I don't
What
think
if they
one's
did-
enough.
What if they did
Well,
like a pack
If it was cheap,
cost the same amount as the highest gem pack, so 85 Australian, whatever it is, 55 American, whatever it is. But you get 50 gems off the bat and then 5 gems for 30 days. So
That's like
it's
see,
200 gems total.
that's what I was thinking. Even
Oh.
like I was thinking like what if they could even just like be even like like a small increment and do like a $40 gem pack that was 100 total, 10 up front, 3 per day
Yeah, that could
for
work too.
30 days. So you pay
Yeah.
$40 a month, you get 100 gems.
Yeah, like
every month.
those type of packs are actually really good. A lot of people who are, more cautious about spending on the game, those are the types of packs you would want to buy because obviously you're not going to be pulling on every single Sugo Fest like those type of players. So it gives you more opportunities to save up your gems, and it's a much cheaper alternative than buying the bigger gem packs. I think it's a smart decision, and Bandai should definitely adopt it because people would buy it.
Because like
100%.
I think like because Joba made an excellent point and was like it doesn't move the needle when you think about like okay, a deal in his mind he already knows he's going to do 1,500. So regardless of how much it costs him like dollar wise is more or less irrelevant because he knows that as long as he gets to the 1,500 gem number it doesn't matter, right? I feel like I want like what's the difference between somebody who does that and somebody who doesn't pull? Like where do you find that middle ground to be like, is it more financially secure to maintain an $85 Australian gem pack for 85 gems over doing a gem pack like that? Like do they make more money like based upon selling a lot of those 85 gem packs to the whale players? Or do you think they'd make more money selling a lot more of the lower cost gem packs to players?
Well, what they could do is do those lower cost gem packs, but then make the gem packs that are normally 85 for 85 in Australia. Obviously, it's different depending on your region. Just give you more gems for that. So maybe if instead of buying that 85 gem pack, maybe you'll get 125 gems instead,
I'd even
but
go as
still
far as to say
maintain those
100.
lower packs.
I'd say even 100 is enough. 85 for 2 multis is like it's still expensive, but way more reasonable.
Either way, yeah, I do think if they just put more in the big pack, you can do whatever you want with the lower packs.
I just think it's all about moving the needle though. Like I really want to know what their stats, like what their analytics are in terms of like do they like have flagged accounts that spend a lot of money and then they know that they can target like larger scale gem packs at those accounts? Would them selling a lot more smaller gem packs to a lot of players bring in less revenue in total as opposed to selling a few players higher gem costs like gem packs? Like there's a lot of do you think it's a good idea to reduce the cost of gem packs? Do you think they make less money? Like where
Even still, they should definitely do whatever they're doing on JP, where even to that one-off purchase, $20 for 100 gems, like you get people that don't even spend on the game. Will say, "Oh, I can spare $20. I'll go ahead and do that." You'll get a bunch of players doing that, and then even the whales that spend heaps, they'll buy that plus the other packs as well.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, it just makes a bunch of sense.
I don't see why they haven't introduced that monthly. Because I'm sure that if every month there was like a 40 Australian dollar pack that gave you 100 gems once a month, every
That'd be
single
nice.
person would buy that. Every single person that plays the game on a regular basis would buy that pack without fail every month. Because why would you throw an opportunity away like that?
Yeah, that'd be freaking insane.
I think that's the issue there, where it's like, do you think that they will generate less money because they're not selling a larger cost at a like quantity wise? Do you think that they target like whale players? It's a fine line. Do you even think it's a good idea for them to delve into it now at this point? Do you think they're going to make more money from selling gem, like to reduce overall gem pack cost?
Well, if they're going to continue this 30 gem multi, 30 multi guaranteed banner legend, they need to do something with these gem packs, because the current way that it's at right now, like, yeah, if you're doing, 6 to 10 multis, the current gem packs are fine. But if you're asking people to do 30, you definitely got to increase those gem packs.
You got to be trying to entice the people who don't normally spend money.
That's where the needle moves the most.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like,
exactly.
For a banner like this with Sobermask, like if he wasn't guaranteed on 30 multis, no fucking way was I going to do 30. Fuck that.
No,
even things like the rookie packs, they're shit.
Oh, they are
They
garbage.
are fucking terrible. If you're trying to entice new people into spending like $30 for some tomes and shit, like man, I've always had big problems with the gem sales on OPTC.
I think it's very important to like. That's actually a good idea. Like, it's very important to look at what the contents of the gem pack is. So, assuming that the gems stay the same, like no one cares about these limit break material packs, because like the number that they output, like the amount of like limit break materials they give, is minimal.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
not enough to move the needle.
Even if they give
us
us support medals, like that would be a little better. But limit
like
break
the support
materials.
medals they do a support medal pack and they give you like 3 or some shit. It's
Yeah,
not,
they give you like 5 of
it's
the
not,
medium one.
it's
That's
not
bullshit.
enough, Like, I don't see. The thing is, like, I guess you could kind of like put it to the idea of like, for somebody that's producing a product, right, and they're putting that product on sale, their profit becomes smaller because that product actually requires material cost, it requires labor, it requires transporting all that. There's a lot of like things that factor into the cost of an item that's being produced, whereas gems, for example, have no cost. They don't. There's no production cost to making these gems. The salary you're paying someone that maintains this already exists. You're already paying that person money regardless, for example. So it doesn't make a difference for them to be so stingy, I guess is the right word, when it comes to like doing sales and giving gems and such, because there's no cost for them up front.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a difference between giving people a lot of free gems. Like, if you give away a lot of free gems in the game, people are inherently going to be less enticed to spend money. There's a lot of gacha game examples of that. 7DS gives like 400 gems a month potentially. Dragalia gives so much free stuff that you never have to spend $1 more or less. Like Dun Memo, you could make a lot of free to play gems and not have to spend any money at all.
Mm-hmm.
So But in Treasure Cruise, because the fact that there's not a lot of free-to-play gems available, people are enticed to spend money onto the game. But due to the fact that you make it so hard to spend money, people are less enticed to spend money. It's just a vicious cycle where they're not making any money. Look at the numbers between 2018 and 2019. There was a dip of like $2 million US dollars in revenue for Treasure Cruise in the US. That's a lot of money, you know. And if that continues to trend, they're not gonna be making that much money in that's a negative connotation, obviously.
That's true.
It's interesting. It's all about the numbers, man. And I feel like more gem sales means more people buy gems, more money gets made. It's as simple as that. Just discount your goddamn gems, that's for sure.
Please.
Please, man, give me the discount. Hey, boss, give me the discount, boss. All right, well, get into some Twitter questions, I guess. Probably a good idea. Yeah.
We could do that.
We could probably do that.
What's up, Twitter fam?
What's up? What's up, you tweeters? Is that what they're called?
One from
What's up?
Dilber says, "Yeah, when is Joba getting kicked off the pod?"
That's Cobby's fault. Cobby failed us.
Just get better luck, bitch. Man,
So-
did we even talk about this new fucking Sugo on Global? Because I had some words to say.
I mean, if you want to talk about it,
Yeah, we could talk about the Stugo first.
We can go
Man.
for it.
It's fucking Sugo. Let me tell you something.
Here we go. Hit it.
You know, I've been social distancing since this whole coronavirus started, so I haven't had much.
Even before it started.
Oh,
social distancing since day one.
Let me lay it out. You know, I haven't had much of a chance to go out, socialize, meet women. So it's been a while since I've gotten fucked like this.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm a little salty, boys.
What the?
Not only did I not get my carrot, I didn't get fucking shit.
You got Frankie 3 times.
I got fuck Frankie, man. I got new Stampede Buggy. Yeah, that's worth.
That's basically a legend.
That's worth 13 multis.
People can go past 30 multis and not get all the generic rare recruit characters that are just released. It doesn't make any sense.
Bandai knew how good the rare recruits were, man. They knew, bro.
It's fucked. I hope that this shit doesn't happen ever again. Like you
can't
release characters and not have them rate boosted. That's the whole point. Every character is rate boosted on their release. Well, some more than others.
Okay, carrot. Okay,
look at you, carrot. Bitch.
Feels bad.
But yeah, like even every time a new batch comes out, if you do like 6 multis, let's say,
you get
more often than not, you're walking away with at least one of the new characters.
100%.
Usually. Like, obviously, it's all RNG at the end of the day, but typically, you're going to be getting at least a few of them along the way. Not on this Sugo, that's for sure. People have gone 10, 20, 30 multis without getting many of the new rare recruits.
Yep, 100%.
It's very bizarre. People are getting the new legends before the new rare recruits.
See, that's where you get fucked. That's
when you know shit's up.
Yeah, that's where it's fucked.
It's very Rayleigh's bizarre. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, you can kick me off now. You can kick me off there.
No, I want to blame Cobby though, because Joba mentioned that if Cobby gets one, because Cobby had this insane run of luck when it came to the legends recently. He got a bunch of new stuff off the free multis and the tickets and doing minimal amounts of he had an insane run of luck. So Joba said if Cobby gets one of the new legends in the free multi and one of them in the discounted multi, which he did with the V2 Nami and Kuromasaki, might I add, Joba said he'd quit GGP. Cobby failed us, so Joba's still here. So you can donate to my PayPal if you guys want to kick Joba off the podcast.
Fuck that. Donate to mine. I'll take it.
All right, donate.
I'll take a payout.
Give him someone pay Joba $20 and he'll.
Joba's the Bandai spy. He manipulated my rates so he wouldn't have to get off the cast.
Yeah, if I had that power, I wouldn't have gotten as fucked as I did.
Yeah, well, give a little, take a little with Bandai.
It's give a little, take a lot.
I'm watching. Let me just go to 30 right now. I'm so salty.
No, relax.
No. Just kidding.
Unless.
Dude, I just got to do GGP polls like Todd did during the V2 slashers. Apparently, that's the way.
Todd did give you the
You guys
opportunity.
should all do a multi right now.
No,
I-
I'm good.
Dude, I'm
I'd
down.
rather not.
I am down.
Me and Todd will just chill.
I'd rather not.
I'm
Fuck
not
that.
touching this fucking banner no
I
more.
mean, you're a clown. You didn't go to 30. You went to
Boy,
30
don't tempt me.
over 2 banners.
Nah, well, somebody has to keep up the clown persona. Someone has to keep it.
Man,
Somebody
at least he got the rare cards.
You know what's
I'm
actually
happy.
kind of fucked up about this Sugo though? So this is the Korean 4th anniversary Sugo Fest, and
Oh.
it's not a 3 times legend rate on Korea.
Yikes.
It's 2.5.
Oh, yeah.
That is
So,
that is
yeah.
hilarious.
They
I
didn't
find
introduce any new characters to Korea either.
that's such an L, bro, for the for the Korean players, bro.
Yeah,
such a
it's a
shame.
huge L.
2.5 times your Annie is
I
like
believe when Kaido dropped on Korea as well during our anniversary, they also got a two times or 2.5 times.
Kaido
So now
was-
their actual Annie still is not a 3 times.
bro, Annie sucked this year on global. Annie was
Yeah.
so shit.
Man,
Even
rates
our
are
French
bullshit
Annie, I'm not
anyway.
even that hyped for it.
Bro, I have my expectations for French Annie as 0. Like,
Bro, that's
every-
okay. That just means
I've
we can
got
say
I've
the
got a
less incentive
feeling
there is to
that
pull.
What do you think, Cobb?
I've got a feeling that either French anniversary this year or the global anniversary next year is going to be massive because of this one.
Well, I hope so.
No,
I got a feeling they missed out on a lot of people pulling this time around.
because no one wanted to pull in that shit house banner.
Kaido's banner was fucked.
Kaido's
It was
banner might
really
be
bad.
the worst banner of 2020. Kaido's banner might be the worst banner of 2020, bro. That
I
shit
don't
was
know about that, but it was not.
that shit was ass, bro.
It was not an anniversary worthy structure. That's for sure.
That was dog shit. That banner. That shit was doo doo.
And even going back to what we said at the very start of this podcast is like people did more than 30 multis for Kaido and didn't get him.
That's
saying.
it.
Or
You
even
know?
like 20 multis, right? Because 20 multis was the last step. Because it's our anniversary, in that type of circumstance, it would be 20 multis for the guaranteed new unit. So just saying.
Just saying the floor is important. That's for sure.
It'll break the economy.
Okay, we needed one of those jokes. we needed at least one of those jokes in there at some point, right? At very grim mood asked, life update. Has anything new come into your life as of recent? Also, Godspeed on hitting 1K subs. Thank you very much on that one. So,
Love it.
guys, anything new in your life so far? How's quarantine treating everyone? We don't talk about our outside lives all too much. So, how's everyone's
I mean,
life going?
Obviously, none of us go out any, so and not much has changed.
I mean, I
No,
work shitload,
no,
and
just me.
since with my work, I can't work from home, so I'm only home like 2 days a week, since I do
Yeah.
like sleepover shifts with my job. But
Yeah, I've still been
yeah,
working
I've
anyway.
recently started working in a new house, and the bed is shit, and I can't sleep there, so that's great.
It looks like a prison bed.
It is a prison.
It's actually Dill actually works in the prison.
Dylan is a prisoner.
I mean,
Dill is
I'm
an
sure a lot of
inmate.
people don't know what I do. So just for those who don't know, I'm a disability support worker. So I support people inside care homes, as well as like out in the community, like helping them do their shopping and that kind of stuff. And it could be as simple as like taking them to the shops to do their grocery shopping for the week. And before quarantine, it could even be stuff like taking them to like the footy or to the cricket or to the movies, just stuff like that. Just to help people who are less fortunate. Stuff
Hey,
like
Dylan, for non-Australians, what the hell is a footy?
that. AFL, so it's Australian Football League. And yeah, so that's what we'd take.
It's a men's sport.
It's a national-
Oh.
Hey, Dilbert,
it's
what's
the toughest sport in the world.
Hey, Dill.
And my name's Todd, and I'm an alcoholic.
Well, we don't need that. We're all addicts here.
Drunksky.
But yeah, life update. I guess not much has really happened.
We finally actually managed to have
Yeah.
so they've only recently lifted some of the quarantine rules in Australia. So we've actually managed to have a couple of the guys around. Like we had Toadski around the other night, and one of our other mates around for the first time in fucking ages, just to
Yeah.
shoot the shit and
Nice.
play games.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Cobb, how's life, man?
Bruh.
I'm
Yeah,
sick of quarantine, man. I need to get out and about. I miss work. How weird's that, man?
I miss going to the movies.
Yeah, same.
But
No, I don't know if I'll ever go to the movies again.
We're doing the right thing, staying home,
Yes,
keeping myself safe, keeping everyone else around me safe. It's the main thing. So
listen to the podcast.
do what you have to do. Exactly.
I got a flu shot the other day.
Oh shit, he did. He do be
Yeah.
getting flu shots though.
Yeah,
Ooh.
be that time. I actually hadn't had a flu shot in years. Like
I've
since
never
high
had a
school,
flu shot. I've never had one still.
I haven't had a flu shot since I was 15, and yeah, and this year my family's really saying you got to get it, you got to get it, you got to get it. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
It's
everyone's super anal.
everyone's worried about the bloody flu when it's bloody CV fucking.
COVID's right there, bro.
I know, like flu shot does not prevent COVID.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Knight, how's life going, dude?
It's going decent. Just looking for a job now since can't work at the moment. So yeah.
Oh, shit, good luck with
Nice.
that.
Good luck. Yeah, it's
Thanks.
gonna be hard to find one right now.
Keep us updated.
Yeah.
Will do. But besides that, just been chilling, watching movies, playing
That's it.
games.
Getting good luck on
Nice.
gacha, you know, the usual.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
that's the nightmare way, bro. That's the nightmare
You know
way.
what? You know what I've been thinking about that time that we asked Knight how his I think it was the Kaido. It wasn't the Kaido Sugo. It was some other Sugo, and we asked him how it went for him on JP, and he was like, "Yeah, it went well." You know, we were like, "How many did you do?" 22.
That was Annie.
That was
Yeah.
Annie,
How was
bro.
that anniversary?
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
that's
Yeah.
great.
that one was fucked, bro.
Oh man.
No, but that was a good Annie for me actually. I like this one.
It feels bad.
Well, yeah, like we didn't even talk about the Japan events. Like, when are we going to talk about like comparing the anniversary?
Fuck,
something?
man.
Oh yeah.
I just overbooked that shit,
Well,
bro.
either way, in my personal opinion, I think in terms of the characters they released in the Sugo Fest, I think this is a very good anniversary celebration. What I will say though is that in terms of content releases, they didn't really release much content to play. It
Release fuck all.
was like the new treasure map, and that was it. They released the crocodile before the Sugo Fest, but that was a very easy raid. And what else have they dropped?
I feel like the only argument for that is that that Bandai would probably like go to their own defense and say, "Well, we had the 3 previous parts prior to Annie itself,
I
and they
suppose,
were all
but, like, I feel
considered
like
Annie."
if
Like,
people are spending all these gems to pull these new units, like it'd be nice to have something to play with them against.
because there's
But
nothing.
Yeah.
There's generally nothing to
Also,
do.
another thing as well is that like anniversary celebration typically brings in a lot of new players, so this is a really good event for new players to catch up on stuff.
What is
but-
out right now? Actually,
I don't know.
the
Soap and Masquerade.
that's
Yeah.
about it. And there's one thing else.
Yeah.
There's the
Otoko,
Otoko event.
They gave it a fuck ton of gems though. 6 Annie. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, they
gave it.
did.
Yeah, they did.
Imagine that.
Imagine, nah.
You couldn't be
Economy.
me.
It's like, nah, but like, nah, honest to God, like, you can see them slowly improving, but it took them 6 goddamn years to get there. But they're finally handing out gifts and stuff. And like, you know, more props to Japan for getting, you know, top grossing though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge achievement.
that's always something crazy. You got
Huge.
that's shout out to all the Japanese whales, bro. They're going ham, dude.
It's such
Yeah,
a shame
man.
global OPTC will never get top grossing.
Yeah, bro,
And
never.
I love watching their polls because even though I don't know what the fuck they're saying, they're so animated. You know, they get so excited.
That's Snowman. You want animated pools? Snowman, bro. That guy,
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
that guy's the most animated pools of all time, dude. But very exciting.
It's also heartbreaking though, because when he's got like a sad voice that he puts on whenever he's not getting good stuff.
Bro, he
Oh, man.
makes his screen black and white when it's a dupe legends. Every time he was like ding and it's black and white. Like, it's a dupe.
Freaking Takashi
man.
used to do that back in the day.
Bro, what happened to Takashi, yo?
Now
That guy
he
got,
works with the
that guy got
Back to One
famous.
Piece team or something.
that guy got hella famous for One Piece.
Yeah, he actually works with like some of the Oda's people, I think, like the
Fuck.
those
that's
people that
Oh,
like, manage One Piece
spe-
or some shit.
Speaking of like content creators, did you guys see Orion is quitting?
Orion is quick.
Yeah. You guys remember that guy? He was a good content creator.
Big free to play for global. He made
Yeah.
a lot of
Free to play guy. Yeah, I do remember that
Yeah.
guy.
He did
Yeah,
stop
shout out to that
posting
guy.
content for a year, so kind of I assumed he was quitting, but now
Yeah,
he's
pretty
like,
much.
now he's like actually like he's out, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
He's
I always
doing
kind of had him in the same league as 7 Days. You know, he made good videos.
hey man, but 7 days still going hard, so props.
Yeah,
on.
shout out to that guy too. Shout out a lot of shout outs today.
No, you're just giving out shout outs for no reason.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I mean, to be
Oh,
fair,
oh.
shout out to those guys is like our slogan pretty much. So
Yeah, man.
like
Legendary
we
moment.
should incorporate that into the into the splash screen somewhere actually.
Shout out to those
The
guys.
title of this video. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Poppy, I'm also doing well. Thanks for asking.
I was getting around to
Fucking-
it.
Oh,
I'm
sure. I'm sure. I waited like a whole 5 minutes and then Todd
You
derailed the
asked
whole
me.
conversation.
I'm
Alright,
And I'm
sorry.
bro,
so upset.
I
I
always
can't believe it.
ask the questions, but no one asked me the question. So
How are you doing? How you doing?
We
Oh,
sing
and I
a
forgot to say,
happy
Poppy had a
birthday.
birthday a couple days ago.
We're not singing happy birthday.
No, we're not saying that shit, but just shout out to this guy here.
That's to me. My
This
birthday
fucking clown.
yesterday. I did fuck all.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
we keep it moving. Bro. Shout out quarantine. Lots
Well,
of
like,
shout out.
what's the number one thing you guys are missing about not being able to do shit?
Just seeing friends, you know, going honestly for me, going to university. And the reason that is for me is because I distinguished between when I'm at home, it's complete relaxation, it's fun, it's games, whatever. When I'm at uni, it's pure grind, it's pure like study and work. The fact that now I've had to incorporate home into that study stuff has just been a pain in the ass because I was always about I would go to uni every day and then stay there till like 2 or 3 a.m. just studying because when I came home,
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm a dumbass on the camera, but behind the scenes, bro, your man be grinding, bro. But no, like putting that distinction between university and home was big for me because when I was at home, I knew I didn't have to do anything, and there was no like stress, no repercussions of that because I knew that okay, when I'm at uni, I do work. When I'm at home, I do nothing. But now it's like fuck that. It's like my brain just turns off. It's like, all right, cool, bye.
That's a
Goes back-
vibe killer,
Yeah.
bro.
Goes like
That
to
goes to a
command
lot of
mode.
people, I suppose. Like, it's really hard trying to, maintain productivity in times like this.
What about you guys? What
Yeah.
about you guys?
I'm told Poppy did really well in uni this semester. Shout out to him.
I did indeed.
Very good.
Somehow I killed it this semester. My dumb ass killed it, bro.
I miss being able to go to the store for things that I need and not feeling like I can die. You know,
I mean,
like I'm risking my life to get like milk and shit.
yeah. I think before, like I miss like because Todd and Kobe and I we go to the movies quite a lot. We see like basically everything that's out at that time, and yeah, I miss that. I miss having the freedom to just going like I've been saying for ages. Like I've been wanting a fucking bowl of ramen, and I miss. I hate the fact that I can't just say, okay, today's my day off. Let's get the boys and go into the city and get some ramen because everything's fucking shut and leaving the house is like, yeah, you're not supposed to be leaving, let alone going into the city. So
It's true.
100%.
I don't know. Yeah, just spending time outside the house in general, I guess. Like,
Yeah. I think it's a big part of it.
in all fairness, like we like it's not like we all leave the house a shitload, but like for the small things that we do that aren't our work, it actually starts to affect you.
100%. 100%.
Next question.
All right, let's get it. With the release of Legend Hawkins and his somewhat lackluster abilities, what has been your most disappointing legend upon their reveal? That comes from Sam1 March.
That's a good question.
What
so which
is
legend that got revealed did you like say, what the fuck? This is shit.
So aside from Hawkins, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it was definitely Robin, Nami, and Robin Nami. Pudding is still holds ground as being a fantastic legend, but just doesn't get used. But Robin Nami is I won't say we. I'll say sorry. Me, I hyped the fuck out of them because I thought that they were going to be incredible, and then it turned out they were fucking disappointing as shit because they were doing.
I actually think I agree. Like even their artwork, like you guys know I'm the biggest fucking horn dog for Nami, but like I was just like whatever. That aside, no, I mean that aside, I wasn't all that excited for their abilities. I saw that like what was it? It was 6 times or 7 times that they go to with unmatching or with the empty orbs. At face value, it looks really nice, but I was like, yeah, I don't like this kind of play style.
They kind of see play now because with Kid you can store orbs, so they're gonna like specifically like the Dex obviously variant of them, but overall, disappointing. That's probably the one legend for me.
Yeah, that'll be the same for me as well.
I've got 3.
Oh my days, here's 3.
Oh shit! Ooh,
hit it.
So 3 disappointing reveals for me. Brooke was number 1.
Jeez.
Oh, I like Brooke. I like the new mechanic.
You want to
But
die?
his multiplier was so garbage, and like
Yeah, his
reviving
multiplier is
from
very
content
low.
wasn't really needed at the time. I mean, yeah, you can use him on Kizunas, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he did
it was-
get his moment to
He
shine.
had one Kizuna he had to shine. That was about it.
Yeah.
So Brook was definitely one of them. Another one for me was Garp.
Yeah, Garp still
Garp's
holds
captain ability just made me
6+
cringe.
Garp though.
Yeah, we should be getting his info within the coming days. So
There's a
I'm looking
chance
forward
to
to
Hey,
get
that.
what was
to
Can you guys remind me what Garp's captain ability is? You have to hit in what order?
I can't remember, bro.
I don't know. You
Was
might
it
have to look,
was it good great?
you might have to
Something
look
like
next to where the subscribe button is and hit that button first before you
Oh shit!
learn what Garp does. But no,
Bringing
Garp
it back.
was doo-doo. Garp was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
doo-doo.
Garp's like-
And what's the
then my
third one?
final legend reveal was V3 Rayleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my choice.
Yep.
Damn shame, bro. With super typing, he'll get better. Like he'll see a lot more use.
Like
But
I did see someone use him very effectively, like against Ambush Sengoku, use him as a sub so that like you go through the barriers
yeah, that
on
makes
that
sense.
stage, which is pretty cool, but yeah, underwhelming.
Okay, yeah,
Other than
I've got 3 as well.
Oh my god, we're pulling out
So-
numbers.
First
Are they
one
the same
was,
ones?
yeah, V3 Rayleigh. I agreed with that.
Yep.
Second one was Sengoku on his original release.
Oh man,
Hey, don't
Yeah.
tell Boris, bro.
OG
Sengoku's on
Sengoku,
the world.
I
this
agree.
old guy.
No, that's before, no, I mean before he got the buff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
yeah.
get
old.
And this last one's a bit controversial. It's mainly because I thought he deserved better. NL.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think like the gimmick is
was
cool.
good.
Yeah. No, 6+ was a huge upgrade for it, but
Yeah.
the initial 6-star, it was a fantastic gimmick, but overall, you're like, nah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I didn't. Oh shit. My alarm.
So I wasn't around back then.
Like
Oh,
I saw, I didn't get him immediately, but like I saw what he did, and like when I eventually got him, I didn't even fucking use him because I'm like, well, this isn't how I like to play the game. Like it's so shit, grindy, stally crap that like when you think NL, you think he's gonna blitz through content.
And I'm hoping, mate, if it's V2 and or super type, it's time. It might be time.
What were you gonna say, Joba?
So I wasn't around back then. When I know that Sengoku at first was shitty. He only boosted his crew and not himself. And then they eventually like patched that and they made it himself too. But was that only on JP? Like when we got him on global, was he already updated?
Nope.
We
No.
had to wait.
Yeah,
So
we had
that's
to wait.
so crazy.
What the fuck?
That's insane. I used to
Had him for a little while before
Do
he got buffed.
do you know if they buffed him on Japan after he'd already been released on global? Because it's crazy to imagine they would have given
No.
us.
So he was out on global before he got the buff in Japan.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's so crazy that they like did a patch.
That was
Were
really
they-
weird too, because like it was just a random patch. Like, oh yeah, Sengoku's gonna get buffed, and then at the same time they also made Sabo V1 a striker.
Hmm.
See, like
Before his Super Evolution, he was just
That's like the
three-star
only
original and
time that's
first
happened. I'm
striker.
pretty sure. Like we've never gotten patched for shitty abilities before.
those days sound great.
Yeah, it's like
as time goes on.
yeah, those days are
Imagine
like
being
anything
like a
goes.
Imagine being shit enough.
Imagine being such a shit unit. You need patch notes, bro.
Not
Fucking hell.
even a 6+, not even like a limit break plus, not any of the extra content.
Dude.
Bandai just says, yeah, we're upgrading this unit.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah,
How bad, guys?
we-
This character
hey,
sucks.
Man, can we get another patch for Sengoku? Because I think he's
Was it the first time that
definitely
they introduced like a game tester into the studio, and they're just like, "Why the fuck is this legend so shit?"
who in their right mind would pull for this bullshit?
And everyone
And,
did.
yeah. Meanwhile, like Rai probably did like 30 multis and
Of
shit.
course, right, did. Probably. Who knows? Man.
Absurd.
Knight, what do you think? What's your most disappointing legend upon reveal?
I don't have 3, but I have 2.
Oh my god. You guys, everyone's got
I have
numbers.
Hody.
Hody.
Hody
Ooh.
and Neko Inu.
Ooh.
Really?
Whoa.
Interesting.
No, I thought they were
Why?
garbage on like face value. Like when you like read what they did, like based on like how long it took them to be released, and like
True.
Sabo
That makes
Koala came out, so I was like,
Oh,
why would
true.
you get them?
Yeah, that's
That's
yeah,
a good
I get
call,
that.
actually. Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
that makes
I
sense.
mean, I guess I could see that, but I thought right away with their special they were gonna kill like Kizuna and Coliseums where you can't use orb a boost or whatever.
I do
They
agree.
they definitely have their uses.
I agree with Hody.
Oh no, I thought
And that's the thing. Like Neko Inu has been using Kizuna's so much. Like
Yeah.
I think I've used
Oh
him
yeah, for sure.
on major. Like there's only like 2 Kizunas where I haven't used him.
Yeah, their captain ability is a little weak, but you always use Salvacola for that in their
But I
place.
think
They're a great
Mhm.
thug.
it's a good shout. Like on like reveal, like reading all what they did before playing with them. You like, yeah, I agree. Like
Yeah,
reading
you
what they
think
did
it's a bit
first
weird.
was like, whoa, like this is basically a worse Saba Koala.
And that's
And
right,
what-
because on JP, they literally released right after Sabo
Yeah.
and Koala.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whereas on Global, we got it a bit earlier.
So yeah, I get that actually. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it
I
does
thought
make
that was
sense.
about to be a very hot take, but no, that was well justified.
Man came. What about Hody? I want to hear Hody actually.
Hody's
Why
I don't know.
cool.
I don't know. I just remember like when he came out, like everyone's because he like lost HP every time that he like everyone thought it was garbage, and I don't know. I thought it was
Well,
pretty
then again,
garbage myself.
like before his 6+, he was pretty bad.
It was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
his
6+
6+ made him so much better.
I reckon his if like when people talk about like the best 6+, he's slept on a lot.
He is slept on.
Honestly, like his
yeah.
actually really good 6+.
Like-
It really helped him.
I didn't have him at the time when he got a 6+, and he went from being like my most dreaded pull to being like the one I wanted the most.
Yeah, most used legend. Like, like
Then
you
again,
know-
at the same time, V2 Fujitora was kind of underwhelming too on release.
yeah.
Because he came
Oh,
out
yeah.
like right after Lucy.
He's still under.
Yeah.
He's never been whelming. He's always been under. Never.
This has never been whelming.
And V1 was such a god at the time. He's I think
Oh, yeah.
overshadowed severely. I love
Oh, yeah.
V1 Fuji. I'm a simp for V1 Fuji, as the kids say. Uh,
All right, sure.
Good question.
Yeah, good question. A question from Ahmed Nabi6 asks, do you think the game will ever add new pulling animations like other gachas? If so, what would you like to
Oh,
see from
Why
them?
why haven't they?
That pulling animations are shit.
What
bro.
do you
ooh,
mean?
I know.
Add
Super
Secret.
Saiyan Luffy.
So, shut the
No, honestly, like
get Joba off the cast, man.
Man, I'm just trying to throw some light into the
Gear,
darkness.
yeah, where's like the gear second,
Bro, imagine that though. You pull back.
gear third,
and
gear
he-
fourth. That's all you need to add.
Not even just, bro. Imagine like, cause like, what was it with Naruto Blazing, right? Doesn't like Sasuke can pop in and then Sakura can pop in as well.
Naruto
Imagine-
Blazing haven't updated their animations either since the game came out.
Like, imagine that shit's cooler than fucking Nakama, and you fucking fling forward and he bashes his head through
The Luffy you pull back on the pull screen is pre-time skip Luffy still.
times.
Like, come on, even I'll just update that at least.
Uh,
Come on.
If you're gonna update it, go the whole 9.
Oh, of
like-
course, yeah.
Like the thing that like that'd be really cool. Imagine you pull back and then like, but see, you have like what I like is when you do pull animations that like, for example, like the Dokkan ones where it's like you can get like Trunks and Mai, and that's like not the easiest one to see, but like if you pick it up, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. Like a lot of those ones where it's like a little subtle. Like imagine you pull back and then you hear like Zoro's voice in the background, like, oh shit. If
No,
you
no,
hear
no.
Zoro's voice in the
Imagine,
Year
background-
two Luffy would
imagine
be
you
really
pull
cool.
back and you start and like the screen like faces back and then you hear Snake, come on, and he turns and then he just fucking King Cobras all the way through.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
shit.
pull back, he says gear, and then when you let go, it shouts a gear number.
Bro, get rid of the fucking flinging onto the island, right?
Yeah, no,
I got it in my head. You pull back, he goes gears, whatever. If you get
Yeah.
gear 4 Snake Man, you're like, oh, this is big pulls, and he just punches through mirrors in the mirror world.
Like,
You know what?
Default Snake Man is like guaranteed to be like one of the units that are on the banner of the
Yeah, it's one of
legends.
the unit legends. If it's like instead of him like fleeing through the walls, if you swing back and he does like the King Cobra like punch to blast through everything, it's guaranteed like the new legend or some shit. Like that shit would be fucking crazy.
Or like when you click on the summon screen, it'll take you to a different location. So either you'll be in the mirror world, you'll be like if you're doing gear
Yeah,
second, you're on top of Ennie's lobby or something.
And his lobby, yeah.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense.
In the Castle versus Lucci.
yeah,
Like,
something
yeah,
like
like-
that.
It just doesn't make sense if you slingshot into an island that you're gonna hit like 10 doors in a row.
And like
What are the odds?
Bounce Man will be on top of Dressrosa, and then in the forest for Tank Man if they ever do a Tank Man.
But even
one.
like if they didn't even introduce the gear thing, a change in location where like the stature of the location determined the quality of the multi. So if you did the pullback and you've got the same like the regular one, it's a regular ass multi, right? But if you did like the pullback, and then for example, you got like the whole cake island, you're guaranteed a good multi. You're guaranteed to get at least, let's say, 3 reds. Or you're guaranteed to get a banner unit or something along those lines.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff, changing it around is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
you can you're still on the boat, but then the island that you fling to is different. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
like
Like,
even like those
a
things.
generic boat. You're on the you might actually be on the fucking Sunny.
You might be on the Sunny, or you might be on like Eno ship, or you might be on this. You might be like different kinds of things that like the player base can say, oh well, I did a multi where I started on the Sunny and I got 2 reds. Okay, Todd got 2 reds. I did it and got 3 reds. Okay, maybe it means guaranteed this. I did it and got
what if
this,
we what if we have a pull animation where you pull back a Kainu's fist and you punch through ace?
Yo,
Spoilers.
let's go.
All right, bet that killed the vibe. Didn't it?
Oh,
I
actually,
wasn't expecting that at all.
that brings me to a question I kind of wanted to ask you guys about One Piece
Sure.
in general. So,
Oh,
not a lot of people die in One Piece, but I've always thought, if before the series ends, they kill off a Straw Hat, who do you guys think it would be? Yeah,
Jimbo.
I've always thought it would 100% be Sanji. I don't know why.
Jimbo.
Carrot.
Like,
Chopper.
whoa.
Already in the crew yet. Already
Hang on.
just-
At least he acknowledges that she's going to be in the crew.
I
So,
hope
Or if
it's
it's
shout out to
Jimbo,
that.
it'll be him like sacrificing his life, similar to what he did in Whole Cake, but like it's actually gonna take.
I
think
hope the Straw Hats tie bricks to Chopper's legs and throw him off the boat.
I'm going to do that to
Never
you.
tie bricks to his legs. You chuck him in the ocean, he's gonna sink anyway.
Yeah, but I want him to sink quick.
Oh, at least that's a mercy kill. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't get all the Chopper hate. I like Chopper, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, you like furries, so
I hope they replace
Oh
him with
my God.
Pikachu, to be honest.
off the rails.
I like Chopper. I like Chopper long before I discovered Carrot.
I'm gonna
all right,
cut
next question. Next question.
This guy really said tie bricks to Chopper's legs. Bro, I can't.
Disrespectful.
That's
That's
crazy.
as much disrespect as the Navy gave him when they gave him that bounty.
All right, last question. This is from Deep Fried Pepe. Shout out that guy. This is gonna be such an open-ended one, but I'll cut it here. If Bandai gave you an opportunity to change the game or put something new to the game, what'll it be? What would it be? Let's say one thing. If Bandai give you the opportunity to change one aspect, not a whole one aspect of the game, what would it be? We'll go around the table.
Well, they already
Shit,
gave
that's
me
hard.
Bath Carrot, so
Double skill up for tablets.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a very good call.
Like, do you mean as in like up the base rate or like
No,
have
no. Have like we've got double skill up. We've got double super success. Double skill up for tablets.
why don't they just make double skill up incorporate tablets? That's what I
Yeah,
want.
I mean, yeah, something along those lines because as it stands now, like, yeah.
I
Okay,
got one.
I like that. Jobo, what do you think?
Either stack selling or slider selling, because I have like 100
In the
fucking
game.
skill books. Those fucking skill
That's-
books, dude.
If you could
For
change
like-
one thing, that's the one thing you would add.
Slider powering up.
Wait,
Oh
we
my
have it?
god.
Japan got that?
Slider
too?
selling
on
in the
JP,
game
bro.
with JP, you jabroni.
It'll be
Oh my
out in like a
God.
month
A
for
month's
us.
Oh,
time it's coming.
bruh.
French Annie, it's coming out.
I'm gonna finally have room in my box.
Yes.
Jesus.
Oh my
No,
God.
Revolutionary, man. I sure they're pretty good with quality of life. They eventually give a shit that we really need.
After 6 years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Candy stack, like just in a massive fucking vat.
No, what was it? Me and Cole were talking about like that idea of like the candy pot or some shit.
Yeah, we talked about that last podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
Or the podcast before that.
That one's a great idea. That one's fantastic. Instead of like you stacking candy somewhere, just have like a total number of each one. And
Yeah.
then you can just draw from that number. That'd be pretty interesting. What was it? I think just like the obvious, make limit break material stack higher. That's what I'd do. Make
Oh,
it
100%.
Don't
Yeah,
don't have a cap.
either don't have a cap, which like would probably could result in a lot of data, or just do quad nines because we already know that they can do quad nines just via like people having 999 tomes.
Yep.
So like we know that numbers of like they can like do that. So I don't see why they wouldn't go to quad nines.
Yep, I think that what you said and what Dill said, those are amazing additions to the game. Would love either of those, for sure.
I've got two things, but we've already talked about both of them in the pod. So
Doesn't matter, hit
The pulling like animations.
Yeah.
Like I don't really understand why they haven't upgraded that in the 6 years this game's been out. It really, really baffles me. And I actually forgot the other one, so don't worry.
I bet.
Kind of in that important.
I had one as well, but I've forgotten it as well.
We talked about it in the podcast, so just go back. It's somewhere.
Little sales, because I've been wanting,
All 19
Oh yeah, the gem sales. Thank you,
Yeah.
Joba. That was exactly it. The gem sales
got
suck. Make them good, please. I'm begging you.
Make OPTC great again.
Hey, bro, we might have to start that hashtag. Let's not actually.
I was about to say, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. You can start the hashtag good, great, perfect though. That's for sure.
Ooh.
We should
But make
start
sure
a
you hit that sub button
hashtag
first.
We should do a hashtag where they send questions to the hashtag, and we could just draw from that
Oh,
rather
that's a good
than
idea.
like we
We
can.
need more of a following to do that.
Nah, we got plenty of people, bro. They're smart enough. They're asking
we-
questions.
Asking hella good questions. That was a very
Yeah, the
good question,
questions are
Stephen.
improving. That's for sure. These questions were great today. What about
Shout out to you guys.
anybody else have anything on that? On anything they would add? Not.
No, I think everything was said
All right.
except
well,
for give me every legend.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be
Send not every legend.
I got one question for you guys, unless you guys want to go to bed.
Just
Wait,
keep
no.
asking questions, bro. But ask it. Go.
All right. What's the next thing that you guys are planning on? Dumping your gems on? Because this was like the one of those benchmark sugos, where everyone goes in.
I agree.
So what's the next one for you guys?
It'll be 690 units for myself.
Yeah, I told myself that, and then I remembered that we're getting support carrot sometime soon. So
Good luck, buddy. Isn't that
Yeah.
like the next banner? Isn't that the next support
It's
unit?
the next support
Oh.
unit.
Yeah.
actually.
oh
Ah,
man,
Oh,
I didn't
no.
I did not save money for this shit.
It's
This
alright,
is gonna
it'll come out-
hurt.
it'll probably
So-
come out next month, late next month.
Next one I'm gonna go in odd is probably the next Annie. But I do plan on doing a fair few multis on Shank's crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I'll drop some cheeky multis for Shank's crew, but the next one I'll go in for is 6 Annie.
Yeah, I'll probably do like 3 multis on the Nami Robin banner just to do it, just cause. And then for Shanks, I think I'll do. Well, it depends on the steps, really, but I'm not
If
gonna
the
go
steps are
super
good, yeah.
If it's
Now,
French
you-
Annie, like if it's not French Annie, then I might do like a bit.
Like it's French
on
Annie
that.
and they make it 20 multis, bro.
I might do 20. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
same.
God.
I think I might have to save for the Snake Man and shit.
But I
Yeah.
think the next benchmark, like you mentioned, Joba, is the 690 units for global players.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you are talking about the 690 Japan legends, not
Yes,
like
yes,
our global.
yes.
Our global
Yes,
600.
Correct.
Because our
Because
global
Snake
like,
Man and
690
Co.
Japan.
The super tight
that was
batch.
Christmas,
Yeah.
New Year's for
I
us.
think honest to God, like that benchmark, now we have a number we can hopefully associate with that. Have at least 20 multis, if you possibly can, prepared
As
for the
close to
Snake
20
Man
as you
banner.
can.
Because, and I mean, they give out a lot of gems during the event. I mean, fingers crossed we get a similar event. I don't think we will, but hopefully we get something along those lines. We can at least get some sort of repercussion from it. But if you can possibly have 20 multis prepared for, like at least Snake Man, you're golden. Like you'll be set for a long time in the game.
Yeah, and that all being said, as always, if you really want Shank's crew, pull on Shank's crew. But
100%.
if you're lost, you're like, wow, I really don't know what legends are good coming up. Save for Snake Man and Co.
And don't roast out your friends or like even people online that decide to do however many multis they decide to do online, because it's like in the end that might be a character they really look forward to, like Joba and his carrot. He's looking forward to this support carrot. Yeah, it's just it all depends on who, like what character you personally like, and if they like that legend or support unit or whatever, then yeah, don't go ragging them out, because in all it's not, they're not spending your gems.
That's correct. That is it. But like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, if you do 30 for pudding, you chug so much glue that your
And,
Cultured
lungs,
man.
your lungs will actually stick together. Like it. Like,
Shut up.
that's
Man,
what I'm
Rose
saying.
is gonna have a bad.
Shout out Flamevius though. Good luck to him when he does his 30 multis for pudding. I hope he gets
I
pudding
hope
early.
he I hope he gets him on the
I hope he
second
gets
and he's
pudding, I
done
hope
with
he
it.
gets pudding, like discounted dip, bro. Hopefully.
I hope so.
He's gonna get pudding on like the same
29?
multi, guaranteed.
No,
I hope, no, bro. If I don't wish that upon anyone. That shit hurts. That shit would hurt so much. You are the full Monty and pull the legend on the multi, it's guaranteed. Oh, that would be painful. But I think that does wrap it up for another episode of GGP. Episode 19 is done and complete. From now on, I'm going to be trying to schedule these episodes to come out around the same time. So the same time that episode 18 came out. So that is 2 a.m. Australian daylight savings time. I think that's the correct time format for it that we're in right now. So that's 2 a.m. that time, which I think PST time would be. God, I don't even know. I'll figure it out and tweet it
2
out.
a.m. Australian, did you say? Or like our time?
2 a.m. Australian.
Minus 13 hours.
I can't do that math.
I
Probably
don't
10.
fucking know. I don't know. I can't remember.
Sometime. It's just going to come out at the same time. We're going to start scheduling them more so it's a little bit more regular and a little you can look forward to that episode rather than them coming out obtusely and, just randomly along those lines. But speaking on that as well, a big shout out to everyone who's subscribed recently. Thank you all for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the sub button real quick. We really would appreciate that. We're so close to that 1K benchmark. And like we teased at the start of the episode, we have some things planned and we're going to get a lot more into this content creation if we hit that 1K sub mark. On that, though, make sure you go follow us on Twitter at GGP Podcast and same for that as well on Instagram at GGP Podcast as well. Twitter for a lot of the updates when episodes get released and such and questions. Same thing for Instagram as well and a lot of the behind the scenes there. You can follow us on YouTube, Good, Great, Perfect. That's where the podcast will always be uploaded. And you can also find us on Anchor as well, Good, Great, Perfect. Anchor does distribute to a lot of other platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a lot of other platforms where you can listen to podcasts as well. If you want a condensed location to find all those links, you can go to linktree/goodgreatperfect, linktr.ee/goodgreatperfect. You can find all of our social medias and places to listen to podcasts there. Without further ado, though, I've been Captain Puppy, Cobb, Dill, Joba, Knight, Todd. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of Good Great Perfect. We'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out. Happy birthday, Poppy.
Bye-bye.